What is up? What is up? किस हो चैट 2 मिनट लेट टट्टी कर रहा था टट्टी आई थी यार एनएल मत लिखो यार बेचारा सब रीजन्स की वॉच पार्टी कर रहा है लव यू यार सी कैट स्नेक लव यू यार एक से देखो ये किया कैमरा को अपन ऊपर यहाँ पे डाला थोड़ा ऊपर डाला यहाँ पे अपन ने किया पोल कौन जीतेगा Who will win कौन जीतेगा इसकी तो 2G G2 W फिर हम ट्विटर वाले के गान जलाने को वापस अपन ये करेंगे I will drink water इससे लोगों की गांड जलेगी ये बेगर बोलेंगे
up with as any player would.
क्या बात है आगे
so cerebral.
Yeah, I hard agree with that. Leaf is a very hard player to replace. Dre's going to be doing his best, I think, in the process. Obviously, bringing up the vibes for him overall as well. The map's interesting because could see 2G try and take it in an unusual direction to see if they can gain an advantage. But I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary, is it?
No, I mean, Corrode and Binks are both maps that are new into the mix here are out. Ascent. I love that for both teams, quite frankly. 2G did lose it last week, but they still played it well. You see Silence back on that duelist role for that one as well.
I'm a little bit disappointed they didn't just put
a week's worth of prep into Corrode
to try and hard target what was going wrong for G2. Because that looked like a map that when I was watching G2 play it,
hello, long time,
they were looking relatively lost in terms of what to do as a appropriate actions when they lost mid-control, whatever else. It wasn't a great showcase.
Probably still just in the process of making Spike feel comfortable in the team, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's one of the problems too, is that both of these teams actually are in a bit of an adjustment period. But Ascent, the reason why I'm worried about it is because G2's attack side looked unbelievably good with their double senti composition that they run here. Valen's calling is like so precise with the way that he moves around the map, and I think the comp just fits them. Baby Bay, it's really easy to play chamber when the rest of your team is doing such a good job at putting you on good angles. They really escort Baby Bay into the positions, and Baby Bay's job is wait for someone to re-peek you and kill them, and that is like how you get the best out of Baby Bay.
Yeah, I mean they talked about this last week, right? That this is a comfort pick not just for Baby Bay but for the team itself.
He needs to stop.
Does he though? Does he though?
Freaky little guy.
So do we expect to see a double senti mirror here?
I mean, I will say no because we literally see the coming from but also because I really think that Spike does a great job of setting up Silence. So while they could run the double sentinel comp, and I think they're really quite good at it too with Silence on Chamber, Silence popped off on Jet. Spike's going to play aggressive on KO, and that's the danger duo that G2's going to have to shut down. I think the problem is they're just so good with their double sentinel comp at shutting down threats like that.
Yeah, I hard agree on that point. I think this is it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them to try and crack into G2 just because it is relatively simple if they're setting up Baby Bay to get inserted and find value himself. I think G2 are going to be one hell of an opponent for G2 to try and crossover.
They will indeed. It's going to be an uphill battle. I'm excited for this one. Teams are locked in, and so are your casters for it. It's Riff and Vansili on the mic.
Yes, it is time for that 2G versus G2 match, and for 2G here, a win, the possibility to get it. I mean, they looked great in their first game, almost coming over with those wins, almost finding that victory. But against G2 here, who has the not prime roster with Baby Bay, and now this is that chance and the mentality boost that 2G could get here for the rest of the season by getting this win could be immense.
The difficult thing right now, though, is that you're starting this series on G2's map pick, or 2G's map pick being Ascent. And that is, for me, is not a win condition for them, because I would like to see Spike on a Neon. He was popping off against EG, had 27 kills opening things up on a Neon, but this time around, you also have Gobera on a Cypher. He was being exploited quite well against EG last week. So right now, hopefully they have some sort of plan to play against G2's double Sentinel comp.
Absolutely, and as always, we get the match started here with a load up fast with Samsung SSDs. And we are going to be right on to Ascent here with 2G versus G2.
That's 2G starting off on the defense.
Yeah, 2G हार सकता है आज.
The slow play that you want to play this double set before G2 or any of these comps. You're trying to exploit middle to fight back. But it's G2 putting up the first battle here. They pressure up towards A main and now are looking to manipulate the map a bit. 2G not moving around though, they're still looking to fight towards mid, and that's how they open it up.
Silence now. You'll see him on the jet here on the maps where then 2G can play that agent. He starts off with the first blood onto Jogamo, so a really big one as well for G2 to try to get back and forth into the site just after they do a bit of a find and who is at A main
last time
just to push off
अच्छा तो
2G
खेल
and get
लेते
that
हैं
space
आज चैट
recovered.
पड़ेगा मैं पढ़ता हूँ. Good morning
After this
Goku.
fight though from 2G,
GEELI CHUMMI
giving up
दे
a
दो.
lot of space.
Rushabhai,
Good
love
chance for
you.
G2 to really start to set up this
G2
pincer
strong,
maneuver,
लेकिन पता
working
नहीं
into
ऐसा
this B site.
एक कोने में लग रहा है कि
Silence backs up to get another one, but he's quickly traded by Trent. Sitting patiently in sight are going to be two members for 2G here, so a lot of work for G2 to get themselves into position and figure out where these flanks might be coming from.
That's a big ping, putting Gobera back, giving more space for G2 to take over this B site. Both of the players for 2G, though, holding in the back of B.
Who's got the first shot? Prize here on the screen, goes for one. Nice. There's a lot of sheriffs around on this round as well for 2G on the defensive side, trying to get the shots in to count. You get the damage for the rest of the team to clean up. Is it possible, though? Is a quick trade here on the Jonah P. And now it's just going to be one more. Gobera is hurt. Tagged up and falling now. Trent with 3 as he's looking for the last player. No time to plant. Just a few seconds there. He will get it down, but it's the push in now from LZ. And his patience, his back off at A initially allows him to be alive at the end of the round for a pistol win on the side of 2G.
That's the main thing right there. The patience shown by LZ as the IGL, but also the patience coming in from Gobera. I just mentioned how he was being heavily pressured against EG, but this time is able to hold that corner as long as possible. Isolate some fights, push through, he's able to get one, drops the spike here, being Jonah P on top of that. And gives a chance here for LZ to have an easy pickup in a 1v1, forcing Trent to fight outside the open. And this is the kind of start you want for 2G. Maybe giving up that space is that game plan for 2G to upset here their Ascension compatriots.
Yeah. Doing such a nice job there playing cat and mouse in B. G2 looked like they had to search forever to find somebody. That's a white out there for Silence. Goes down on the initial push, and G2 expected this. Are they going to be able to grab a second round here off of 2G?
Signature there for G2 to push the way that they did with the Stinger buy after trying to get that plant down. Both players once again for 2G holding in the back of this B site. Flash for them to peek out, but they just hold their ground towards the back.
The rotation's fast as well from the defense, though. Can they collapse now on the attackers? It's going to be big from LZ coming from the market area. And now they slowly walk into sight. Every corner is watched here with a bit of help just off the shoulder. Jonah P is going to peek and get that frag, and yes, it does look like in the 1v3, G2 will clap right back.
That's what you're going to have to start learning here for 2G side. Seeing that space that you want to give away here for G2, you also have to make sure that your rotations are going to be quite fast. So really quickly, but maybe with that, you force them to fast rotate, and G2 can start playing into their rotation playstyle they don't want to have here with this double senti. But a great opener to start things off on the attack side.
How aggressive, even with the shift held in that double.
Chat, मेरे को एक बात बताओ, कोई ऑर्ग का ओनर फाउंडर इन्वेंटर नॉन मेंबर हो सकते हैं क्या चैट?
Set up to figure out what this buy round for G2 is going to be.
In the camera only saw one person so far. G2 just stayed all the way back, anticipating some sort of a crunch on an eco round for 2G. Now they still have their advantage.
2G कौन सी टीम है बे? अच्छा टीम है. Ascent से आई हुई है.
Looks like they want to optimize it.
पहले भी खेला था लास्ट
control first here for G2. Still trying to prod the information. Again, the only thing that they saw so far was Gobera on the attack side. They don't know where the stack could potentially be here for 2G.
Moving back over, we just actually saw the KO knife flying all the way through the map from that A side. So Spike identified a few in B main. Now they start to cut audio, work their way towards the right side, and they've chose the weak side, Vans. They could absolutely crush in here.
Good at these, just pop flashing and swinging out Baby Bay at the point.
अच्छा blind दिया था.
Yep, always sniping, always looking down the scope. Expect a few more to come from there with the help of the team behind. And you still have Trent just on the outside of A main, so while delivering the power, they still have safe
blinds अच्छा दे रहे.
G2 feel very comfortable getting a plant down in this round.
Yes, yes.
We're juggling around here just to again maximize.
Voice increase करो और कितना?
One closest to his ult.
अब सोते नहीं होगा, सोती तो.
Looks like 2G's analyzing that and realizes it, so they want to stay back towards the spawn just to dot a spike, which is
going भाई AWC का एक बार शेड्यूल बता था जिसमें ऐसे लो भाई अभी तो कोडिंग में चल रही है वैलेंट से बाप गेम है और चेस चल रही है वैलेंट से बाप गेम है और अभी नेक्स्ट वीक शायद टेकन चलेगा वैलेंट से बाप गेम
against that G2 slow play into middle.
Yep. Push forward and just get a few more kills on this one if those alt points are ready here. But G2 in a good position as well from the attack side. They get a few rounds, you get a cushion, you get some money, and you can start to test your opponent. Doesn't really matter if you lose one or two in a round. If you can buy the next one, you know what the flow of the game is going to be with maybe some ultimates that time. So we're going to be getting into that realm of really being able to test what 2G feels comfortable with here. This nice push onto A continues that second round buy through. And they should have money again coming into the next one.
Every gun in the game, besides the bomb.
Got butterfingers. Can't get the right thing. Can't get the right thing. So there's the operator you were talking about. It does come out.
भाई सेकंड बेटर टीम में डिजर्व करता है, बहुत टैलेंट है उसमें. पता है मेरे को कॉल किया था उसने. मैं अवेलेबल नहीं था.
So they do have a steel garden to work with to even counter the op. Potentially why here Silence is playing a little bit more passively, holding a passive angle towards the A side, could maybe get out of the range here of the steel garden and come out for a pick. So this gives once again a lot of room to breathe for G2 to scale up here in their bonus round.
Yeah, everybody except for Valen. Oh, I'm sorry, except for LZ right now is in a position to dodge the steel garden, right? LZ still wants a little bit of an idea what's going on the map, but they are playing outside sites majority. If that is something G2 wants to try to do. Waiting for that pop flash out of the smoke as it goes down, trying to catch somebody off guard in two ways. Spike's just chilling though. Trent's got it, being quiet there on the main side.
Good damage being done though. Here's the up, posted up.
Maybe a little aggression here from Gobert can start to give info for the rotation to the other side of the map. They should be able to set up the defense now. G2 looks like they should have a free steel garden take though. Get themselves into position. Baby Bay's got info on who's trying to come in. So they really can set this up now with the door closed.
And because Silence committed himself to try to get a pick towards that tree, he did get caught by the steel guard. So that runs up the clock down, allowing G2 to get a plant and also play a 5-man pulse plant right inside the site.
Bay hitting another one with this outlaw, getting the maximum return on investment there. Still using the stingers to take down 2G inside the site. But G2 is also falling here like flies. Spike and LZ trying to make their way into the site. Jogmo has the head now of Spike in his eyes.
मंगड़ो कैसे एक चिम्मी अरे काम तो बहुत तो बताया ही नहीं तू कहाँ से है?
Second now, and Trent's forced to fire through the smoke to get the classic shots in, and that's going to be a defuse. 2G come up with another round, and the chaos there is G2 acting just a little too slow on that retake of their own plan.
That's crazy. That shouldn't have happened on the side of G2. But it's Spike being the aggressor coming out here. Outside of the he's still give a chance for his teammate to go for the full defuse. Look at this play coming through. Pinned from two different angles. He does the 180 turns to get these picks.
Nice!
भाई ये क्या अल्ट्रासाउंड का?
Here now. Spike's been quite vocal since his opening game against EG. But thankfully here, you see this round being won by 2G. The economy is still quite low. LZ is the only one with a strong rifle. Only with this Phantom, while the rest here of G2 still has a lot of money to work with. So a full gun round coming across.
ऐसे लोगों को देख के ऐसा लगता है अपन बुड्ढे हो गए
that. So again, they're playing back towards the spawn on the attack side.
Actual में मैं बुड्ढा नहीं हूँ. इसके वजह से मैं बुड्ढा हूँ.
2G could be posted up first.
I think one of the promising things we are seeing from this full roster of 2G now is that ability to come back from maybe a few rounds behind, not full. They can figure out a way to break the G2's sight hold as Baby Bay is just putting this outlaw to work for rounds now.
He's been very good. Again, Sentinel's last week, he was 4-1 in openers on the attack side with the sniper rifle, either be the Outlaw or the Op. Still continuing the same thing here on the attack with Gobera. Challenge accepted.
Gobera loves the one-shots. You can see him doing this with the Guardian too. At times, their Valen's going to finally snuff out that aggression from the impact frags. Spike is close. But the lurk is from LZ to Spike. Wait, no, he does not wait at all. Goes right for the shot, and now they can start to make Jogamo sweat here. They'll wait for the pressure, watch for the lurk out, but ultimately wait for the plant.
He still has no idea where LZ is at.
Exactly.
Still saving grace right now for Jogamo is he has the ult after the plant.
Omen marega.
One enemy remaining.
Jogamo, who else gets almost another one. Spike's able to find him though, just from the stairwell. The Thrifty now for 2G after G2 takes down 2G on round 2. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Got it. As we get into this next round, this is exactly what we need to see from them Vans. They cannot let up one moment or G2 is going to run away with multiple rounds.
Could have had one of those highlight reels from Jogamo again. A crazy shot while he's full blinded to get that first pick onto LZ. But again, 2G, great swing right after to trade it out. Not giving a chance here for Jogamo to stay alive on a plant.
By lead pe hai 2G.
You hurt the econ. G2 still has some sort of buy
that
they can work with.
Jesse suppress kata.
Time to jump. Yeah, looking for information on the Trent also has Hunter's Fury, so they might try to take him down with it.
We love that. The Hunter's Fury commonly is used if he sees anybody in Boathouse there. Now it's just got to be somewhere else. Maybe he's able to take down Gobera though with the chaos. So multiple layers coming in here with everybody still running into the site. Beautifully executed there on the hit by G2.
You're right. Not only did you use the ult here from Jogamo, but the ult that you had from Valen. Probably saw him at the staircase and it allowed him to come through from Trent with that Hunter's Fury and then Baby Bay to get another first blood in the round. 4-player retake for 2G. Still great util to work with. Flashes from both sides, Spike and LZ. And they'll try to come through.
Great pings through the smokes, just absolutely countering the cover. As LZ and Spike come in huge, but Jogamo is gonna lay him low here with the judge. Continuing to move one shot, wants to get into somebody's face, and it looks like they'll be able to do enough damage to scare off 2G after they get a thrifty round for themselves. Almost. Going for the clutch again, another kill. Oh, Silence able to jump shorty Jonah P in the face, even after the Red Bull clutch comes through.
You really wanted him to try to take down the operator into the next round as well, so I respect the push forward, and Silence able to stay alive with his own cloud burst and a shorty close range fight. But overall, it's still another one of those buys here from G2 that was a little bit broken, but thankfully they had these ults to work with to open up the site. Didn't really give a chance here for 2G to muster up a coordinated retake on their end. We're back in the same scenario. A strong rifle on the defense and pistols to work with, but they found results in the past though on the defense for 2G.
These buys from 2G, we've seen rifle sheriffs, now we see the op sheriffs. They're just being sorted so much because every round they're losing players. They're rebuying.
$2 of the euros of the
pounds. In a position as well where that money could sting a little bit, as you see. Low credits on that side. So a minute into this one, it's the slowest one we've seen from G2 to push up, as they're seeing if 2G will make a move first.
You're seeing the advantage as well of G2 in this composition. At the start of 2G, they've already expended a knife, a flash, trying to find information, trying to find for peaks. But now they have less info and less utility to work with on the defense, allowing G2 to get a little bit more in their arsenal on their actual hits. So this is the mid-round. Try to scale up, find information towards this catwalk. It's the operator, though, from Silence just waiting at that spot.
Baby Bay on a mid-adventure by himself here. He's going to start pushing up into Pizza alone as the team wants to focus towards that right side. Oh, he's got somebody just on his back. The paranoia comes through on trees, so they're activating around the map, getting people to get a little antsy. And what an insert from Baby Bay here. He's going to draw the rest of the team in.
That's exactly it. You found the up, rotate towards the red. Baby Bay goes for the one up, and he jumps! A mouse wheel moment as Silence punishes him for. But there's still 2 players in the back of the base site now for 2G.
Going in. Shots from Jonah P are covering both of the archways right now as he's able to clean one up. Trent gets the other one as those two slam into the site. What? From Silence through the smoke. going after the tracers coming from the weapon as they continue to fight down into the site right now. Silence trying to make a little bit more distraction as the stairs are now held by G2. Is it going to be enough? Jogamo capitalizes on the kills that they do need, and it is 4 for G2 here in a very scrappy site round.
Yeah. And that's the thing for G2 so far on their attack side, you're starting to see that they have a lot of easy pathing towards cap control. And also, they realize that once they split towards this B site, it's kind of telegraphed that the 2 players, both from Prize and from Gobert, are going to hold the back of the B site. So they have so much room to work with. So they death ball going into these B site takes. So now 2G. Gonna have to try to figure out how they could maybe anchor up the baseline a little bit better. Maybe have to play those forward lines and maybe try to take 1 or 2 down into these fights to give a chance here for the rotates over from the A site to get any type of success on their retakes.
Seems like it's been hard for Silence to get a really good op line on G2, where they're playing slow, where they're identifying what angle it could be on right away. It always has to happen in the action for him, which isn't bad. Yeah. It does slow down a bit of the retake when you're trying to come in, but not when you're shooting through smokes like that. So it just does make it harder, is the thing that I think G2 can recognize here and start slamming sites. But an op of their own may be coming out here for G2. So we're going to see these long-range fights probably start us off and see what first picks can really open up the map instead of
Didn't have the best of luck the last time he had the Dildo False against Silence, but this time pulling out the regular op. We're starting to see this. Looking at the play on how they try to anticipate it for G2 side. You're putting here this TP on the top of the Radio Night box, and you're forcing now Baby Bay to try to get a pick towards A main. If he doesn't, or he feels a trap, but there's a Hunter's Fury to support, at least he avoids the beams of the Hunter's Fury. Just like they did last week against Sentinels. But stays quiet for now. 2G don't want to do any forward position or anything aggressive, except for that. A recon to find information to kick things off. So all the way from the B side, and they realize now here for G2 that A-Long is now open. Free for them to take.
बहुत passive,
rest of 2G moving to get these ults in position. You mentioned Prize's ultimate. Now he stands in mid, ready to fire that in either direction.
Exactly.
But what's the play here? It looks like they want to actually get towards mid very fast if it's cleared with making a little noise towards A. Oh, that's a big adventure.
Top flash peek.
Yeah, Jogamo just going for a solo. Baby Bay did that last round, so they're trying to test the waters with being able to just walk somebody into market. This time it is very much held by 2G, and they pay for it with a duelist. Still have that operator we mentioned before, so we'll see if this gets a pick. They're going to work that towards tree. Spike may be alone towards A main, so they got to be careful with this full movement until the rest of G2 is ready.
That's probably what was missing, that smoke that was just thrown here by Valiant at M3. That probably would have given a chance here for Jogamo to really focus on one area at a time. But they're also just trying to surprise here and figure out where the Hunter's Fury could be positioned. Now they still don't know that he's playing towards that spawn, and they're running that clock down. Give me a chance for the Hunter's Fury to get full value for 2G.
Oh, they're going right around the outside to top. Now Heaven is covered. What a crunch here onto the A side. 8 seconds left. It's not the first time we've seen the clock get down to the pressure cooker here for the side of G2's takes. And they're got to try to find that plan. It is 5 seconds left to go, so they were still clean on it. And now 3 members of 2G trying to set themselves up here. 4, actually, as we see Silence just hiding under one of those mini-map icons. He's still going. The operator fight inside the site while he's trying to dodge the Hunter's Fury. They're just making this impossible for G2 to hold. Honestly, with how much chaos G2 is running under, 2G looked like they were waltzing to the site.
If anything, though, in a 4 versus 1, Unk shows that he still somewhat has it. 2 clean shots there on the top of Heaven, and that's what I was questioning before. You mentioned it. There was only 10 seconds left before G2 actually engaged and went into the site for a plant. But Prize actually moved up all the way up towards Heaven to support the team instead of playing the Hunter's Fury towards that spawn. Thankfully, though, he's able to rotate back when they're playing the retake, and then finally get some value out of that. Gets 1 ping there onto Baby Bay, and confirms now 2G's flood back into the site for that retake into tie the game 4-4. Up on catwalk going first look, and it works. Baby Bay's already down.
That's been a fight back and forth. We love to see it between the 2 operas, and Silence comes up big. Remember, this is a continuous switch of their duelists. In the maps they can play Yoru and Neon. You see Spike going back to the duelist. Silence on the Jet map. So on and off, these guys got to be ready to play whatever. Ascent is first, and Silence was definitely ready with that off. They're going to be ready for this push through market, and Gobert already takes down Valen.
There's 3 players there on the side of 2G as well on a defense. So coming out here from the timeout, add another body into this, making sure here that you have flashes to support the play from behind of the site.
Yeah.
Maybe that's going to be a common trend out for 2G the more we continue on to the rest of this half on their defense. That said, though, G2 still finds an opening. They've made it now towards this garden. Stingers to work with Steel Garden as well. I don't think you'll use it. You're going to just have to try to open things up first, and not going to happen. Not when Simon's already there, posted up with the op.
Yeah, just making them peak. And 2G. With the first round, they lost the second, but now they grab the lead back here at 5-4. As the game continues to get evened up, though, so we'll have to see what G2 has for us on the next round. An operator still lives on the map for both sides, so expect this battle to continue.
Definitely something that Valen mentioned here on G2's side to talk about 2G is that nothing's a free win going into the split. Especially with Spike being able to have his time to shine here on the stage, has been playing remarkably well. So they know here it's not going to be an easy fight. They definitely still want to win it, though. Both of these teams are still looking for their first victory this split with a rookie playing as a 5th. Spike on one side, Baby Bay on the other. And for this round, though, we're back with the judge, Jogimo. With the Ultimate Judge, playing a 4-1 on that side.
Yeah.
He's trying to find info towards his A site, maybe where the offer could be, but still has a TP for them to pinch back into this B site.
Who's next? Well, that positioning right now, they're not going to move it. So they go back for the same play, but this time Dimensional Drift goes through mid. Last time we saw this, Jogimo went down and it was towards A. So this B hit has to be quick behind him. Oh my gosh! Nuclear from Jogimo as the Steel Garden goes down and nobody's even looking or aware that he's going to be popping out. Crystal clear and perfect protocol there coming in from the side of G2. The spike is planted and 2G is just trying to recoup and figure out what they have left for this, and that's not going to be an LZ.
Yeah, I was going to say this probably had to be an instant save on a 5 versus 3 there for G2.
So split
G
one,
forcing a
split
save
two,
when you have full HP across the board on the attack side on the post plan. A different look from how you saw they opened up this B site. Although they're still trying to fight for exits.
There
you go, finally falling back. But G2's on a hunt.
The only team to qualify for champs.
Who wants to be first? All thorns here for Trent.
Exactly.
Yeah, Trent could get it. He's like mid maybe.
But after losing a second player there, and you see the econ that's left now for G2, you don't want to chase more for these kills. You need these weapons going into the next round. But just to point back here on the execution that you had from the B site on G2, instead of using, they didn't have that combination of the Hunter's Fury with that Dimensional Drift. But he found enough information here, Jogimo, that is, to allow the Steel Garden to get maximum value. Where it's like, I'm close, I'm in judge range, just use it, I'll pop out of it and drop the players in the site.
That's actually a combo I have never seen work that well. Just absolute scatter protocol going into 2G. Yeah, well, I can't do much about that anyways.
And to the credit again to 2G, though, they played on the top of the staircase, trying to play inside the cages to fight. So you did definitely see that they didn't try to turtle back right in as soon as the execution came through. They tried to fight. But they tried to go against your role, which unfortunately kind of foiled the plans of them trying to play that forward angle with the B-side defense. So G2 getting 5 rounds on the attack. It looks like a close game so far, but 5 rounds on the attack with this comp for G2. They're in a great spot here for the defensive side.
Very strong. Especially with the Vice having the chamber, you pretty much direct the hand of your opponent with that. If you're playing the defense right, Valen's going to shut down LZ right away towards Wine.
And that's the heads-up play from G2. You understand here that you have Trent towards middle, reconning, out-droning for information on Catwalk in main, so you don't have that recon dart for A side to look into Y anymore, so you make sure that you clear those corners. And G2's always that team that's heavily protocoled, so they know about these peaks, these angles.
It's 11 rounds in. It's the first time they've really had to push and clear that area. It's usually just been Trent with the spike if 4 go tree. Yeah, they're always aware.
Just comes to show that G2's never complacent here in protocols.
Can't be. You have to expect somebody around a corner every single time. The off angle, the on angle. Baby Bay definitely on for that one on Silence, getting a bit of revenge. As now it's just kind of delayed defense and that utility coming out as the spike gets planted straight underneath. They still have Baby Bay and one more lurk actually coming in from Jonah P that's going to be very silent. He has a lurk on him though. God, they are thinking through this multiple times.
How does he know? How does he try to look back to know that there was somebody pushing? Probably had the wall up actually on that B side.
And here, Prize jump. He's just denied the flank of 2 people. Incredible stuff here as G2 have such control over the map after these few rounds, and this might be that gap they need to start running away.
Valen was the only one that got chip damage on that battle into line against LZ. The rest of them still full health, so the money's looking very good for G2 for the last round of the half. That said, Jonah to pick up those last 2 kills at the end of the previous round. That was just 2G trying to save their weapons. They needed it coming into this one.
Backside wala plan
If you look at no, it's
या फिर
Baby
वो
Base.
बस लाइनअप रहेगा KO नेड का.
Baby Bay. But that said, looking back at it, you're looking at the econ that you have for 2G. They needed those weapons. LZ and Gobera only have shares to work with. Still sacrificing a lot of econ for the op out for silence.
डिफॉल्ट वाला जो जेन के नीचे वाला
give the op to somebody else. This is a roster to play multiple
कभी-कभी नहीं
ops.
देते क्योंकि स्पैम पड़ता है शॉट से. जब ये शॉट कंट्रोल नहीं रहता है, लेकिन जब ये शॉट कंट्रोल रहता है तब भी
awesome teams already this stage over in Europe, so it does work. It's just expensive, I guess. There was a bigger lead in that game, though. Here, 6-5. Can 2G make it 6-6? You already mentioned that 6 on the attack side for G2 is going to be a huge boon as they go on to defense.
तुझे अच्छा खेल रहे हैं, बहुत पैसे खेल रहे हैं, ऐसा लग रहा है ना?
Right now, they are trying to make a move towards B. They haven't done too much faking. They'll cut noise and go somewhere else completely, but we'll see how this one works. It might just be right up that gut mid for a few of these as B main is the main hit. Yeah.
Throws a turret, but it doesn't actually spot silence.
Could be the final op trade of the half. Oh, Silence gets hit. He's going to get the one-way coming off with a Cypher trip, or trap rather. Nice job by Gobera to activate and help the team out. Watch out though, Jogamo's in spawn. Jogamo's creeping. He's trying to get to the alley, and he's able to take one down already as G2 flood the site.
12 seconds though, they haven't really gone into plant yet. LZ can come up huge!
Almost one shot comes through, but then he is taken down. Trent
Another 1v1.
doubling up on the arsenal. Another red clock goes down as the spike hits. Almost a chalk dart coming in to help finalize this with 11 HP. Prize just needs to blow on Trent's knee here. And he can. He gets the headshot. Over damage on that one. The 6-6 half now for 2G versus G2.
So much stall coming through from what should have happened there for Gobera. He only had a share forward with, but had utility to have that silence to get the opener and delay enough here to again allow a last second 1v1 to go in favor of 2G.
A lot of tight rounds here towards the end with the op being out. It slowed things down. I wonder if that's what we'll see as we come into the second half. A lot of 1v1s coming out here too. Few star moments, and that's what we hope to get as we come back as we are going to a break to get into the second half.
I know what you're thinking. What's her secret? Fine, I'll spill. I totally upgraded with Verizon. Everyone gets a free phone with any plan.
G2 are dreadful, lose every round versus
like
Eco.
Now I have Google Gemini. It's like a little glam squad in my pocket.
Only
Gemini,
team to go to champs से भाई कैसे?
I suggest a classic cat eye. Wow.
मेरा आवाज सुने दिया क्या? मैं कुछ नहीं करता भाई. Got it.
Get in on this.
ये क्या है? वो प्लांट से हेल पे खेलना ज़्यादा रिलायबल है शायद. प्लांट से हेल उल्टा क्लियर होएगा. एनवी का गेम कैसा लगता है? अच्छा है, डिसेंट. बैंगलोर आ रहे क्या? नहीं रहे फिर भी. This is not bad half for G2. It's actually a good half for G2. लेकिन कंसिडरिंग वो लोग सेकेंड फोर्थ राउंड जीत गए, वो लोग आराम से 7-5 8-4 कर सकते थे. Favorite region to watch for you? Actually, I like watching NA.
The continuation of 2G versus G2 here, starting on Ascent. Haven will be our next map, but this Ascent picked by 2G Esports. So we'll see if their attack side will show us what they have in store to get that W, get that win condition here coming in. Silence and Spike. You know, Spike coming into the team. We knew Silence was a fragger already from the previous stage, but Spike as well. Able to get the frags in. They top the board along with Jogamo on the other side. Who else? Who else? As Baby Bay's also fragging out. So good to see these guys.
Please after Prize left to play for Furia.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much at 80% back into your Ascension rosters. The only one missing is Zap. They bring in Gobera instead, but at least the synergy is still there for these 4 players. And it starts off with an A-side hit. Valen being challenged falls back, but Baby Bay's playing out in the open.
Nice shot by Baby Bay. Very dangerous spot to play after one frag, actually, but he's going to stay. He's going to bide his time, and he's going to make it work with the rest of the util coming through a smoke at door. And that's where everybody's focus was, even with Baby Bay up top. So a little miscommunication there for 2G. For Baby Bay.
You saw the Razor Vines being thrown all the way from the B site here from Jonah, just support and slow down the A-side hit. Now Spike down in the open, Gobera. I mean, he's up against the world, and it's been watched like hawks, and they're trying to have Baby Bay go for the hunt, but Trent's going to pick it up. Wow. Interesting buy that you see come out from G2. Usually Baby Bay goes for the headhunter bullets with the shield, instead plays for the ghost. But he's also played it more passively this time around on the A side, so they want to leverage him to be kind of like that bait on the top of the A site and have the rest try to just swing out right after, and it worked out.
One of the things you notice about Leap as well when he plays, usually he's anchoring a side on that Cypher or something, say on like a Lotus or what have you. Yeah, he stays and he continues to fight, and the team trusts in that. So I think it's nice that they still have that Baby Bay to be able to be alive in those moments, create the chaos, and still be in a pretty open position that would be very advantageous for your opponents to go for. I mean, why not? Guys standing in the open, and they just make it work.
This double Senti comp when you have a Yoru. 2 players now pushing down, finding angles, could be in range to TP away. And thankfully, one flash pushes them both away. But Baby Bay still in line to look back towards tiles. And that potentially could force just 2G to start prodding for information and looking for maybe orb control towards his B site. Also, it looks like they took it already at the beginning of the round.
क्या करें बंक्स भाई रेड देने के लिए काम करना पड़ता है. आराम से काम करो यारो, आराम से काम करो.
Thankfully too far out of range to be heard here on the side of G2, so they could still creep up.
Cats watched.
Thank you for the chat. OP कर दो यार.
45-second timing.
Tag करके OP कर दो जो लोग जगे हुए हैं.
He's able to be used before the spike can go down.
TP still up, so now they hit. Jogamo could TP across it. 3 players inside the site now.
They don't even scatter. Oh, Spike actually catches the top of Jonah P there as Prize pushes in on the Baby Bay, trying to get the Outlaw ready. Trent blind looking for a shot here, goes for the scatter, but he's able to find his aim, but Prize trades it back. And now they get a breather in sight here. Everybody just continues to be blind in these situations. So many flashes to continue to turn forward, but all you have to see is Valen getting the final kill of the round to bring it to 8-6.
Love you.
If there's
I
anything
hope you're
positive
doing
so
well in
far out
life.
of 2G on how they're currently playing their game against G2, the top-rated team that we have in the
Commenting
Americas, the winners at 1, split 1, and also kickoff, is that 2G still thrive very well under the chaos. You saw their matchup against EG last week as well, getting so much value just on classic and openers the way that they did.
एकदम perfect खेला था.
Still gives yourself a little bit of copium hope now for 2G's performances moving forward in this series against G2.
चलो मैं झटक रहा, नींद आ रही है full.
I love the camera.
शाम का
It
एग्जाम
doesn't
है,
allow
ठीक
here
है.
Baby Bay to get full position right into the line to look towards B main, but they still inserted the classic weapon that Jogamo has on this map.
Gobera is the reason.
Good cheeky kill there from Cat side. Trent just using the classic apparently. All right. Okay, goes either through a falling smoke or just through smoke altogether. Activate the wall, just playing games right now with that mid side, seeing if they can get G2 uncomfortable in their own defense.
G2's in a great spot though. You saw Jogamo jumped and TP'd away to look for information, saw nothing, and then the wall went up towards middle, so they know there's more of a lean towards middle and A site, so they still have players on mid and A. Little did they know though, a slow pivot's coming through now as Prize is moving there with the B site. Baby holding it solo down.
Oh, no peek there. They can hear the chamber trip just on the other side of B2, so there's been no activation there just yet as we see Baby Silence rather try to make this aggression towards mid. It just wasn't confirmed they could get out safely. And what is a slight insert here at that A main? They've had some knowledge from LZ, and it's going to be the call from the IGL to come all the way back. Silence, beautiful shock dart to trade that and get Valen a little bit tendered on that shot. They take him down. Hold now by Gobera in mid, and what a change across the map from 2G to bring it to 10-second plant.
Spike planted.
And a late lurk coming out from Gobera, but misses a shot. Gives a chance now for Baby to lock it down.
In the chat, what's up,
Jonah P's already through, but he's actually quite low. They don't want to offer a spam back just yet. Baby hits Gobera. Do they activate in sight? No, they're completely patient.
If you need to choose between Sen and PRX, your favorite is Sen, baby.
Still got Chogamo as well.
Sorry, PRX, baby. Sen में भी 10 by भी नहीं है.
Clone and drone trying to get into the site. Jenny is going to be the focus for that first kill, but 2G is just able to find each target, mark it, and take it down. 20 health for Baby. You're just seeing the top of Silence head, but that's going to be peeking out a second later to get the 3K, to get the round here.
Love you, bye-bye!
2 versus 1
रात
for
के
2G.
3 बजे 10,000 मॉब पे पिक के चले गए.
Manipulation on the side of the attack of what they did there on that side.
मुझे भूख लग रही है प्लस नींद भी आ रही है करूँ तो मैं और
again I was as well talking about that manipulation from 2G on the attack side and also anticipating. I thought it was GG already when you're playing close range with a Bucky, close range with a Judge on both Jogamo and Valen, but they used great utility to find out all of this information and then move in as a team right after. Very nice. This has to continue on now for 2G on the attack side, and it will give them for G2 to work with, but a trade-off to kick things off on the A side.
साथ में सो जाओ. Excuse me.
For Valen there, taking out the duelist to get the flashes back into the site. Now only a paranoia here from Valen as 2G planned their attack. They actually have easy sight as they'll run parallel to G2's defense on this if they do decide to go in right now. That's only for us to know and them to find out, as it's a slow take with the drone. But kind of textbook nonetheless as they dive into the site here. Okay, Valen quickly stepping out, seeing the Jenny dash from Silence, is able to take that one down, read it before it even happened. And they will just wait here. Shock Dart goes through, tagging Valen a little bit, but it's worth the damage that follows. Very, very low right now, and the rest of the players trying to get a spot to defend.
Yeah, the Shock Dart just allow 2G to close the door is a big thing for them to hold in the pulse plan, especially now at a 3 versus 4, low HP on the initiator. As you mentioned, everything prize. The 2 players inside the site have to come up huge. Missed time there on that push.
They're all just waterfalling into the site. LZ knows it now. What's going to be the push? What's going to be the play? Valen goes down. Prize actually gets a kill. Low in HP, but he's still finding frags right now from outside the site. They're playing cat and mouse as they show themselves and then hide, but Jonah P still able to find the mark. Take down 2. And the defuse will come through here as they trade that over to the Vise. One away from ultimate here, with 9 rounds to G2's favor.
Saw the idea around 2G, knowing that they're playing at a disadvantage, tried to go for a hero play, a pop flash, so that LZ is going to go through tree for that fight. But unfortunately missed the timing, he got blinded. You still saw through the scrappiness of how good it looked here on the side of 2G with these fights.
Nice, Jonah!
Yeah, that was absolutely huge. You can see how much it meant to Valen, the squad, and realize the severity, the closeness of this game, I should say, and how much G2 continues to beat back on these rounds that are unexpected. Probably one of these Sheriff rounds can do some damage as well, so you'll see G2 playing it safe with cover on each other. Jogamo wanted a mid look first, but he's out of there.
That's 1 TP for Recon and Flash. Probably gonna have to wait for this to reset a little bit more now.
So ulti bhi hai, sare util bhi hai.
A Hunter Sphere to open up the site.
Difficult. That first one missed, so they didn't expect anybody to be there. And the trade does not come through. Silence goes down, and it is very hard to get into an Ascent site if you don't have your jet dash, and you're going to have some chaos. So this is going to cause everything. Yeah, they have to use everything to get in, and they may not have much for the retake now.
Only a knife available to Recon on the side. Thankfully, share is for 2 players on the attack for 2G. And you know they could be good here with these pistols.
Ravan hai by wedge. बाटे करो.
Two covering door. They want to almost collapse back out of the site. Be able to play retake, but the door is not ready to be taken. There's no util to see what's on the other side. Trent starts him off with one. A headshot does come through from the Classic, but it's not going to do enough. It's not going to do anything as the defuse for G2 happens once again. They're just going to go ahead and go out. Oh, Valen, he waits. They're going to give it to Jogamo and make sure that ult is close again. 10-7 now. G2 are starting to feel the protocols. We see how smooth they're coming in.
Yeah, you're starting to see even if Baby Bay was closer here to getting the ult on the side of the chamber, you still want to give it to Jogamo because Baby Bay still has his off going into this round. Still probably has op money going to the next round too, so they could actually salvage that. Econ a little bit better on that side and give the value of that ult to somebody else. Now they're going to go back into a right round.
Ascent will VCT
adding that 300 credits to be able to work with a little bit more. But man, did they spend a lot on that previous round. Counting a lot onto Silence, getting an opener with a dash and a Sheriff. Around a Hunter Sphere, so that definitely is going to have to iron things out a little bit more. And
Spike has been slowed down this half for sure as they get into these engages, but the null command is there. Slamming into the site with the KO would be a possibility. You get silenced that ultimate. Even if this round goes a little poorly, you have Blaze next round. You want to keep G2 off of these next few rounds just to keep that pressure at bay. Let's see where they decide to go here. 5 seconds left in their timeout as they reset. On that side of 2G, I think they've been doing a great job of actually kind of taking space and making G2 believe something is happening.
Not there.
That is not the initial site take on the side of 2G. And that's exactly what they did when they pushed mid, the Vice wall, getting the flash out of Jogamo, and then pushing back down mid, having B presence, but ending A. It's almost like you need to touch every part of the map on the attack side just to get G2 uncomfortable. And that's tough to do each round because it becomes readable, right?
Yep.
You gotta keep changing it up.
Changing things up for G2. Baby Bay is always in different spots here with where the chamber's positioned, where his TP is currently positioned. If you're looking at where he's playing right now too, he's playing an off angle on that side towards the back of the B site, but if he's being pressured, he could fall back into an angle to TP back into the B site, where they can play the retake because you have Jonah P here with the ult for a huge retake play. Start things off, lots of util being used. Joggo back towards that B site first.
उसके बाद वाइस और सो अल्टी आने वाला है.
You still have great sentinel utility on the side of G2 to find that passive information where that lurk could be, where the push could be coming from. Yal Jones seeing nothing. That's an A-side hit.
Drone, little pop flash, throws it. Spike gets the tracer shot, takes down Trent. And that's going to be no drone for the retake. A really nice 1-2-3 activation here. 2G's been really making a lot of noise before they get somewhere. A little noise. Enough to activate G2's defense here. They get to the front door and just break it down.
Well, that's 3 pistols playing towards Hell. LZ TP'd away from it though, so he still has his Vandal in the back of Hell.
LZ with one. Still looking for another one. Almost gets that classic damage in. It's going to be the shorty drop from Baby Bay as they get into the site now. It's Gobera and Prize. And Prize finds just that with one onto Baby Bay. And now it's up to the IGL. Can he keep it going? That is a very ambitious move by Gobera without a trade possible. He missed the timing on the dart. I think they called for it, but not the drop timing. Fake diffuses come out. This is going to be Prize's jump game. If he can do it, he gets the swing, he gets the kill. Charges up the crowd.
If anything, that was perfect coming out from Prize, because the dart going inside that smoke, not getting shot, not getting pings. Knows that Valen is playing outside of that smoke, so he can play the time to his favor. But LZ is going back to years. Remember the days when you have an Omen TPing away from a KJ ult, so you get cancelled at the right moment, and you still have, you're not detained, you still play inside the site. He's able to do that. TP's away from the Steel Garden from Jonah P. Has the Vandal down towards Hell, and gets 2 kills on top of that for 2G to hold the post plant. Very nicely done. Costly, but still around, and G2's economy is low.
वो वाला आईडी का क्या हो गया?
This Jogamo has not pushed out this far yet in the round, and he is going to get hungry. Takes a lot of damage. Almost goes down on that, and now it's going to be the hit coming in from Trent, what he's known for best, and he does take Prize down immediately. And that's what G2 looks like when they're angry. 2 down before 25 seconds.
Playing against Silence, though. Nice turn away to flick back to get that pick onto Baby Bay. I love here that Trent didn't overextend his stay for the 3rd beam. Gets the big Blaze play, the number advantage. Despite the loss of Baby Bay, they still play one player up on the defense for G2.
Nice look for
Renew
chip
किया है,
damage.
renew किया है.
Silence still alive, so they can look to break on
OP
the site
बोलते
here in
हैं,
some way,
चेडी
but
बोलते
it'd be tough
हैं.
without enough control behind him.
हाँ, हो
Right
गया
now,
है.
with his
फोन का क्या
holding
करूँ?
angles, I think we're
खुद
gonna
से
get
कितने हो गया
like a 25-second hit here. Oof. Maybe even sooner, as they have to make a try now.
Thank you
Trent
so
just
much
has
for the
the
support.
angle.
Bye.
Ready for
Love
Valen to help and wind
you.
if need be.
Trent sticking out.
If need be. Not needed. 3 for Trent. Picks that one up. Even after the timeout, G2 are able to push it to 11.
ऐसा लग रहा है G2
But
experience की
2G
वजह से
did
जीत रहा है
strike
ना
back.
सिर्फ.
Can they find that again?
लड़ तो रहे वो लोग
Being
आपस
held
में.
out by Trent. Just a little bit further out from the corner here. Sees that barrel of a weapon from Silence and lines up the last 2 kills. And this is a thing though for 2G. Yes, they got surprised here by Jogimo walking on opposite Sabrosa, but this is something that G2 has done a bit, not every single round, but they have had Jogimo and Baby B walk out of this middle and bottom mid. And initiating engaging that first fight allows Trent to get a lot of value out of that Hunter's Fury. And for G2 here, getting closer to close out this first map. Again, Jogimo's looking for a little bit of a stroll outside of mid. Instead, it's a recon flash just to get information. They see nothing there, so look at that rotate coming across. Now G2 is playing on extremities, but Silence gets an opener, and that's BB gone.
10 HP on that, so you can see what they're going through just to get these early kills, just to take G2 out of their defensive position. They had to go searching. So now they move back towards that mid area. They love having the mid presence. It has helped 2G in their kind of mid-round move once they can figure things out and suss out that information, but it looks like they want all of market now. They'll activate the Vice Wall on their way there.
He went on pressure Jonah P after spotting him first. Here's the pincer though. Thankfully they close the door for the side of G2 so they stall it even more. They have 2 players in the back of the site now as Valen TPs across the back of the site to support. Knife finds information though, so it's up to Trent to even try to get a surprise kill. Recon to help out.
It was nice paranoia through the back, pushed him out to the side, and they were able to get the kill. Nice pin. He knows what the actual play is, and Jonah P reads it and plays it perfectly off the knowledge that both players are just jumping out of the fight. Another right-click classic.
What the fuck? Bunks bike stream पे 1 करोड़ का enter
and that's going to be Jonah P absolutely holding down the backside. Even with losing the second anchor back there, it didn't matter.
Thankfully again to Trent's recon dart too. Getting a ping
that was huge
on 3 players. The first one being Silence, dashing across, and then the second ping puts Jonah P in a great position here to go for the last one.
You don't get to tell someone how to spend their money, man. Chill. Yay! Pinky ने मेरे को motivate कर दिया. इसलिए मैं order कर रहा हूँ.
Session, the professor.
ये बात सुन के.
That was.
क्योंकि अभी Pinky मेरे को
is
बोल
the
नहीं
stuff
सकती.
You have Jonah P on pretty much
Don't
anything. We tell him to play it, he'll play it, and he'll be in the site.
समझ रहे हो?
I thought we were celebrating too much that we didn't buy any armor for 2 players for G2 until we get here in the actual round. But thankfully, it's for sure a full rifle armor round for the defense.
And they have to make a mark on this side of 2G. Or this is it. They lose their map pick of Ascent.
बोला था G2 deserve नहीं करता. सो गया वो बंदा.
Jonah missed the timing. Sorry, Jogimo missed the timing.
बोला था Baby Bake को खेलने दे रहे.
So this gives a chance now for 2G to actually start scaling up slowly here. Drone spots only one. They heard footsteps on top of that though, so they could identify 2 players up on Sabrosa trying to go for mid control.
Free kill. Free kill. Free kill.
Just patience now.
Free kill
potentially for the swing. Knife instead for info, so that puts BBB out of that line.
That's what they have to do. Find where that operator is and know that they're taking a bit of space. I mean, the fact that nothing really came of that, they know they did a good job on it, right? They can break this. That was a bit early. I think they all were in mindset that they were ready to go across, but it doesn't slow too much down. They do still need to get prize over here really before they activate too hard. It could get sketchy. Jonah P takes down 2. They don't have too much to fight in the site without the Sova initiation tool, and Jogimo drops 2 more.
And only 1 player left on a 1 versus 4. 12 seconds on the clock. 2G are not looking.
There's that dart.
To bring that a little bit earlier, but it's going to be too late.
Technically कल का है. आज नहीं मंगा रहा ऑर्डर. Bye, thank you for the 10,000 and 2,000 cast membership. 12,000 बोलते chat खोलते. Love you. मेरा chat
so they were sitting very pretty here to come in to that second half. Still a lot of firepower from 2G. The plays they had, the ways they switched it up.
W बोलते chat खोलते.
The map play that round was theirs, and 2G could just activate and have one of their protocols, have 2 kills, have the round, have.
आशिक भाई जस्ट सिंह, आपने उनको बोला स्पेंड मत करो करके लात मारने वाला सुपर स्टिकर इमोजी दिए, समझ रहे हो? तो अगर ऐसा करके हल्का सा ऐसा सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट पे बात आया ना, ले लो मेंबरशिप.
Given a chance here for 2G.
सेल्समैन ही कह
A
दे.
chance for G2 to come back and just stop that push.
Fantastic stuff from both teams, showing very well in their first matchup, but we'll see what happens as we go into the next matchup with 2G versus G2 after this
अभी
break.
मंगवाना तब सेन के मैच तक आएगा. अरे मंगाने क्या, नेट नहीं इधर. पराठा बना दूं, रात को पराठा खाएगा, गैस होएगा. बारहवा भिंडी. छोले छोले नहीं, अभी टट्टी जाके आया मैं.
Who's gonna stop me? Get it in row. Living the life I will keep on control. Giving it up to my people stand tall. You know the deal, I will give it my all.
बर्गर खा के गैस नहीं होगा तुझे? घर का खा रहा हूँ मैं, लेकिन किसी और के घर पे बन रहा है.
Underestimated, I don't lose. Take a risk, take a ride with me. On the edge, looking down from a cliff.
कॉपी करके रखा था मैंने. कॉपी करके रखा था. वैभव भाई, चैट कोई रोक लो वैभव भाई को. 6 की गांड में आती कलड़. रात के 3 बजे ये खेल सकता है, वैलो नहीं खेल सकता है. चैट सब लोग छुपा लगा हुआ है भाई का. थैंक यू फॉर द 10 गिफ्टेड मेरी जान के टोटे. सब लोग छुपा लगाओ चैट, एडरेट करके टैग करके थैंक्स बोल देना. सोचो अगर उसको मिला जो बोला कि फालतू पैसा वेस्ट मत कर. एब्सोल्यूट सिनेमा, एब्सोल्यूट सिनेमा. रुको चाय लेके आया मैं. एब्सोल्यूट सिनेमा हो जाएगा.
Vai esperando, veio a Bang, ele vai abrir atrasado, garante a eliminação no Derek. Luiz tá pra cima do Baker, vai tomando, acelera.
Ages and smokes to cycle and have it. Trent could just be the hero. Sentinels over eager, and Trent willing to shut them down.
Welcome back, everyone. G2 just got that first map win of Ascent with a 13-8. And Joshua T, I want to ask you, now that you had a little bit more time to prepare with the team and you're not seeing any surprises like Road to start us off, what were some of the things that you practiced to make sure that the team is ready for the match today?
It's just getting Andre comfortable on as many maps as possible. I mean, he had to do the basic stuff like learn lineups, know his position. He had to learn a new role. So it's just simplifying his role a little bit to make sure he's able to play his best. And I think Ascent is just like the grounds for like his best showing. So I think we just expanded his agent pool. I think it'll be great for this next map. Hopefully it's good.
Any jet?
Not yet.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. It kind of made it sound like he's his project.
Yeah. Working on Baby Bay in a shed at the back.
Yeah, you know.
We're really going to craft this guy into a tier 1 player by the end of the season.
And it might happen, who knows?
Yeah.
But in this match, it wasn't the Baby Bay show, it was the Jogamo show. It didn't take many rounds for him to just kind of take over the server.
Yeah, definitely. I think his early showcase as well, putting some crucial rounds on the board. He was a menace with a judge in multiple of them. God. Just absolute takeover from the early portion of this one. And I said, I think even before we got into this match, that for 2G to really get this upset win overall on any of these maps, I think they need a scenario where none of the G2 players actually turn up on the day. But that's hard to ask when you've got players of the caliber like Valen, Trent, and Jogamo, as we saw. And Jogamo was one of those players that stepped up big time for G2 in this one, got them a lot of rounds off the back of a lot of his plays, combinations, good flashes as well. Supportive util was fantastic across the board that entire map.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at the way that they're trying to set up Baby Bay, that's all very structured, very organized, trying to get him onto good lines. And then Jorg, they're just like, just run around and do crazy stuff, man. Just buy a judge. Why not? Go and shoot people. And it works.
But you know what? As clean and polished as Jogamo always looks like, we saw a crack in the armor.
There was.
there was this one moment. So of course we had to jump on this one, Josh.
Yeah, so, I mean, this one's going to be a fun one. So, Jogamo actually managed to fail to drop the spike, and he tossed all of his guns away as well. So, I'm going to walk you through how not to do what Jogamo did. But first of all, I mean, if you missed it, here's what happened. So, he's on the site. They're trying to kind of toss the spike around to make sure they're optimizing ult orbs. And he says, I threw away every gun in the game, which I think is just so funny. But anyway, okay, so how do you make sure that that doesn't happen to yourself? Well, if you're approaching the site, right, normally if you wanted to drop the spike to a teammate, you would press your 4 button, I mean by default, but maybe you've got it around to something else, and then you would throw it away, right? But when you are on the site itself, if you press that button to pull the spike out, let's say you start with the Phantom, you're pressing the button to pull the spike out, well, that's just gonna start you planting. So what you need to do, if you ever find yourself in this situation yourself, is to jump and then press the button to pull the spike out. And that's now going to put the spike in your hands, and you can just press your drop key and give it to the teammate that actually wants the ult orb. And that's how you avoid a situation where you get, your teammate's like, give me the spike, bro, give me the spike, and you're like, I can't, I'm planting. And then you toss all of your guns away, and you're losing your mind, and you don't even have your classic anymore, and you're running around with your knife. Don't let that happen to you. Don't be Jogamo, or at least be Jogamo when he's fragging instead, and that way you'll have a better time of things. And we'll have a look at the coach interview, shall we, to see what 2G's going for. Dryer, what you got?
Thank you, guys. I'm here with Coach Faith ahead of map 2, and I want to ask you a little bit in the Tixenia Sassy tournament. We saw you guys play that map of Haven, where you guys were playing that double duelist composition. Is that what we should be expecting for this series, and how are you going to turn it around to get the win today?
Well, it is what is expected, so we're going to play with this duelist. And yeah, we trained really well all those weeks, and we fixed a lot of things since and yeah, we're feeling ready, we're feeling confident. Let's do it.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
I just never believe him.
That's so cruel.
It's a crazy thing to say. But I don't know, he's just always like... Yeah,
he's soft-spoken.
He is. Maybe
but also, I think he's done a good job with this
chat
team.
entertainment till you come from tea break.
I'm talking about that double duelist though on Haven for them. They went 0-2 last stage on Haven, running double duelist there as well.
Thank you so much.
But now they have Spike. Now they have Spike. And I think the double duelists look for them if they do go in that direction. The only problem for them is that G2 are super ready for it, because it's a very common composition that you'll see right now. But Silence popped off on map 1. Silence is probably going to be playing ISO here. So I think that's a win condition for them. Just Silence have a god game.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, we're moving into Haven as well. Definitely a win con. Not going to add much more than that. Honestly, best of luck to them. Best of luck to them, to be honest, because my Preds are on the line. So.
And on that note, map 2 is coming up after a short break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to see you on the other side.
Free membership, let's go. WhatsApp group join करो. जो लोग free membership है, WhatsApp group join करो. और members की stream जरूर देखना. विचार बस भाई एक और था ना. मैं खास उसमें added था. देखना पड़ेगा. मैं कल सबका नाम देख रहा था. खास उसमें. अपने WhatsApp group में.
We are back for more action here at the Riot Games Arena, and it is still G2 versus 2G, with G2 taking that first map. It was a 6-6 first half, but they had control the whole time on the side of G2. So will they carry that momentum here into Haven, into their own map pick, as 2G prepare themselves get a victory here and bring us to map 3.
And we just heard a little bit before what Pacer was mentioning here for the 2G roster, that it will potentially be playing this double duelist comp, something that they've pulled out even during their Challengers days.
Let's go.
That's where it worked out. On maps where you don't need to play the Jet, you'll see Spike playing, figuring out between the Yoru or also the Neon, and he's going to play the Yoru. It worked out well here for the side of 2G, as I mentioned in the past. They lost 11-13 at the Tishinga event against Crew. This still brings up a lot of big numbers. They haven't found great results going into the stage 1. So hopefully this is going to be the thing that turns it around here for 2G. That said, though, with that comp before, when they were playing quite well with this composition, Prize was actually playing the Cypher, but they're still giving that responsibility over to Gobera. Prize, they need somebody to take over Zap's role as play that. The side of G2, though, something fairly new. Trent coming out here with a fade instead of playing a solo around this Viper comp that G2 likes to play in the past. So maybe it's a way here to try to snuff out where Silence and Spike to be going towards here, trying to find information, trying to play the long game with the two powers and the haunt.
I do favor the haunt a lot, especially with the places people are finding to put it, how you can manage it, how kind of sees down a little bit more than the high darts as you throw them. So we'll see what kind of haunts. Probably just the normal.
And actually, small correction as well. They've been pulling out here this Trent on since Masters Toronto. When Teo actually did get the nerf here going into G2's comp. That said, though, nothing really changes for this matchup between G2 and 2G. The Brazilian team still falling behind by one map and looking. Love that spray. That's quite nice. That's what they're aiming for. Trying to make it here to champs will be a great check mark here for the side of the Brazilian team.
Mentioned that a little bit before. Even this win as well against the other Ascension team would boost their mental so much. The team that's taken the last two Americas finals, be able to carry that for the rest of the season and start G2 or 2G off just right as G2 now fly right into that defensive position on either side of B. Come in here under the silence of that smoke, under a paranoia as it happened. Now they're trying to break the BC link, but Baby Bay is going to be there to lock it down first. Top flash down and up through the smoke as they just continue to get the kills across the board on 2G. They had the setup here, you can see, with the shock darts with a bit of the spray out, but they didn't have enough control of the site, and they do not have control of the round. Fallon with 3. And that's a defuse for G2.
It was almost doable in that chaos there for 2G. Baby Bay getting the defuse here, trying to get closer to the ult on the side of Vice. And when you look at it, you still have to commend the amount of practice that has to come through the latest player for the side of G2. Having to play Chamber on certain maps. Viper on loan is going now into
Get ready.
Auto join WhatsApp group, Discord को YouTube से connect करना पड़ेगा, वहाँ पे फिर तुम लोगों को section मिलेगा.
Oh my god.
A little bit of an OD there to the Chinese teams.
Yep. That's funny. Coming out of the first series, Baby Bay talked about the camaraderie, the brotherhood that he saw with these guys, and you know how he wishes he could be a part of it. And he is right now, you know, reminiscing that when he was playing with FaZe and that was the way. So it must be awesome to have this team to play with here as Jonah P starts them off with a stinger and there's Baby Bay right behind him to help.
Genuine question.
That's the thing. He wants to elevate the game of G2 in terms of what they can bring outside of the game. Hype each other up.
Teams हारती है पहला round. G2 force करती है. और G2 round जीतती है.
Definitely vocal around Jonah P with these eagle kills.
लेकिन मैंने कभी देखा नहीं कि सामने वाला टीम tilt होके वो लोग force करे.
Whoopsies.
और वो लोग एक रिवर्स G2 करे.
Looked more like timing than anything. But it might have been that attempt that we saw. And they'll grab a second round for G2 here from that defensive side.
तो बंद भाई जूता देखो भी जोको
to hold that from their defense was really able to shut down 2G. So what do they do? Is it going to be playing every prong of the map? Or are they going to try to play one side of the map to start? It'll be very interesting to see how they get around this G2 defense.
Start in their rifle round for 2G. You're right, a little bit of a slow default looking at different angles. The wall here with the right click just to give a chance to get a free orb. That means you're not going to fully commit into the C site. It'll be even harder for you to scale up on that side because you don't have that wall to work with anymore. So G2 starting to realize that. So Dragon's pushing all the way up. Has full map control, and you've also pushed on the side of the A for G2. Great information gathered.
Yeah, like you said, 2G defaulted, but it seemed like G2 was just like, all right, keep pressing W. We'll keep pushing. Valen went all the way through. He's back towards sewers, but the stingers just give them so much confidence in those tight spots.
And it makes sense. You got to close the gap. You're on a bonus round here for G2. You're playing stingers in your hands, so you want to make sure they get the maximum value out of the bullets. That said, though, just trying to bait utility. You still have great stall on the side here of G2. This hit's coming towards the A site. Razor Vines to slow things down. You could give yourself a sight smoke and still play close range with your stingers.
Pretty much been telegraphed with where G2's positioned on the map. I mean, already Jogamo's been able to teleport towards spawn. He was watching a trip at long C the whole time, so he's giving the team the info. Not mid, not C. And now they have those three towards A ready for 2G. Spike's going to be able to drop one, though. Trent goes down. Spike continues through the site towards that right side with silence, and they're able to get a kill. Jonah P slows it for a moment before he goes down to the trade of Gobera. And now the 3v2, or 2v3, I should say, as they enter back in. There's one quick one from Jogamo, getting the stinger close, getting that stinger power. Now Baby Bay, does he have wings? Can he fly out of here and get the kills that he needs?
Nope, he'll take the stairs.
He's gonna take the stairs.
No wings.
आपका डेडिकेशन तो है रात को भी वर्क पार्टी चालू है लव यू
against the last two players of 2G.
दो कैसे मार दिए भाई उसने स्टिंगर से यार.
If anything, died to Spike. It's either or.
Yeah. Died to Spike.
Discord में कौन है बे WhatsApp के लिए मनराज पर
या that's good at least now for the side of 2G is again just making sure that they really work that map around before they actually go for the side exec.
Oh, he's going. He's chasing. He smells him.
Because you talked about Jogamo pushing and TPing out towards that
Sometimes
spot.
I think Jonapi has best aim in whole
Look
Valorant.
at the position how G2 played. Baby Bay stayed anchored up towards that B site because that wall was bait in the first place. And because you're also playing a Viper wall on the defensive side that kind of slices down all the way down towards window, they still have a lack of information of where 2G if it be late hitting towards this B site.
So they have to
give a chance here for 2G to really scrim into that A site
multiple kills
and
वाले जो
overpower
बंदे हैं ना
their opponents.
Texture हो गया,
Great heads up play too, because Jogamo TP'd across two tripwires and it's still being watched from Cesarus. Despite the loss of that fight, they still knew that the fight was coming here from Jog.
crazy करते.
Whoa, they give no respect once again to that sewers play. Instantly to the extremities here. And they still have a look down long C, so they know there's no activation again. Like you said, just B is that worry. I don't feel like it's a worry at all with the way they close in on it on the side of G2. Silence doing so much work last round and this round here. Start to capitalize. Spike as well picks another one up onto Valen as they start to just shred the numbers on the side of G2 here. Buddy system through garage. You see how careful 2G's moving.
Yeah. It's going to have to be a retake play on the side of
map flip ho gaya bhai.
Although Jonah just got spotted.
Spike planted.
I love the amount of attempts, the fights we're seeing here. Just a solo flash there to try to take one down. He might lose his life for these fights now as he's just drawing a little too much attention, but good damage onto Trent. Could get him. Hey, Baby Bay's bought enough time to come around the outside. There it is. As they are just working their way and closing in on the 2G members. Defuse here. As Baby Bay gets it to half to trade it off.
It's still a nice little setup how they set things here with this wall from Jonah P at the very beginning, because sometimes they usually just place it so they cut across here all the way in the front of window. This time it cuts all the way inside. It's kind of like they wanted to funnel 2G into the choke point of the A side. And then they had the perfect players and the perfect numbers in there to really snuff out those players trying to take control of long A for the side of 2G. So very nicely done. A little bit of variation that we don't really see from the Viper walls in the first place.
Okay.
We're bringing back the Nene from 2013.
This guy. probably feels like yesterday for him.
Yeah, and there you see the default wall that I was trying to mention here. So it allows for you to retake a little bit easier towards that C site, but previously was really designed on the aggression that G2 wanted to bring towards this A site.
Chogamo operator, like you said, moving.
I think उसको मालूम नहीं पड़ रहा है कि Discord YouTube से कैसा लिंक करने का. तो अगर कोई member WhatsApp group में है,
it's the first time we've actually seen G2 comfortable with giving up kind of C long, and they're just playing it back with that wall, as you mentioned before, making it difficult to pass through these quadrants now created by all the utility, needing util themselves to get through. That was almost telegraphed. Fallon's like, thank you very much.
इसमें उसकी गलती नहीं थी. जब वो जंप कर रहा था उसने मारा और बंदा स्लो हो गया और अटक गया वो.
Breaking over that wall gives a chance for Valen to get a pick, escape, and if they try to move
उसकी
up on
गलती
the
नहीं
split,
थी भाई.
Flash raise of to slow things down. 2G now regrouping to try to work towards this A side. Force a little bit of util out on the defensive end, so there's not too much left. Jogamo only has this flash with the op, which then now gives a chance for 2G to maybe stay as a group. Not until that happens.
They're still so comfortable. They have two over towards that site. Vice util still on A if Jogamo did get anything, but the fight's here at B. They're just cleaning up 2G with answers across the map if it wasn't to be at B. So yeah, G2, great macro, great micro right here. And what is the window 2G can find at this point, right?
Well, again, I was just thinking of
But I
using
think
that to waste that
GEELI
util from
playoff
G2 could be a death ball
I
and
mean,
try to go for the
they can
contact
win
play here towards that B site, but
both
instead
maps
we TP
next.
in. And not only did we TP in, that was a spike on
playoff
top
के
of
लिए
that,
qualify तो हो
going through
जाएंगे.
just behind, so definitely missing
But
a little bit of a
अब fuck up
coordination on
करने
the
का
side
कोई
of
chance
2G.
नहीं है.
The space they wanted to create.
क्योंकि सीक्रेट के सामने तो जीत ही जाना चाहिए था. मतलब
Josh RT fist bump for a round win.
Completely वाला.
But yeah, you're right. There needs to be a little more coordination there with 2G when they're activating. Oh, well, maybe they can coordinate off of this. Eyes now inside the site, behind enemy lines, but no one there quick enough to activate just yet. That dimensional drift about to run out. It's going to be a solo play here from Spike, and it almost gets two. Valens now in a tight spot. Quickly getting help from Jonah P as they enter the site. The Dastardly duo doing what they can to just drop people left and right. They're falling themselves, though, on the side of G2.
Now a kill contract as well. Should be an easy plant out for 2G. There was great stall in the very beginning on the side of G2, but the rest of the team finally followed. All you had to do was wait for the Razor Vine to dissipate on the side of Jonah P, and as they did that, you saw the flash finally come out. Spike finally comes out of his ult too, and then they have perfect positions to trade towards the end. So lacking a little bit here for G2 on answers outside of Dimensional Drift. Look at that position, just out angles, easy done.
Turn up the heat accordingly, right? Get in there with dimensional drift, have everybody just flying in behind that. Even on the delay of the vines, not too much of a problem. It's just the teamwork made the dream work on that one. Goes up for the drone, doesn't see anything. They deactivate really quick so they can get themselves into a position to start fighting here. Now they actually have to deal with Jonah P's ultimate, forcing the hand of everybody to move towards long A safe.
Silence has a kill contract. This should be easy to open up here, the A site, if they still want to commit into this. But they have wasted a lot of util in the very beginning, which was all heard by Jonah P. Slow the tempo now on the attack. Still trying to create noise to make G2 think that they're still lurked in positioning coming on that side. You're starting to see it. Look at how they move. They avoid this Prowler. You still have the kill contract out from Silence. They might try to pull this rotate across from the ult and then start walking into the C site.
That's the only site that doesn't have util. I mean, you can see Baby Bay putting the Vice util everywhere. So it just becomes hard for 2G. But now they actually go back towards it. They go back to the majority here after not really finding too much across the map, right? There's a bit of a adventure from Spike to create noise, but that's already checked out now by the side of Trent, so they know it's fake. Paranoia is flying through. Double taps on. Silence looking to make a play here, but he's got to get through a little bit of smoke to do it and find who's outside this. They are just spamming inside now. Steel Garden goes down to just tear the weapons now away. And 2G is not able to answer. Still jammed on the members. Now they finally come back up with the weapons, but they haven't done the dance enough around the smoke here from Jonah P. And it's only going to be Gobert left. He gets a shot, another foot kill on a Jogamo, and he tries to enter with the classic. Trying to get the pace of that to work in his favor. But who is ready? It's Jonah P. to stand tall in his ultimate.
And the man that stayed in his ultimate from the very beginning of the round stays alive in it towards the end as well. And that is a lack of coordination on G2's side. I really thought you were going to try to use a kill contract to at least open up that side of the sewers. By not using it on that side, it makes it very difficult for Gobera to move through or for anybody else to play with him on top of that. When he used it, he was trying to open up against Valen, but he already lost that fight. I think that was against Silence in the very beginning, or Spike rather in the very beginning. But yeah, that was unfortunate on that side of 2G. They had a great idea though, when we mentioned that hit towards that garage, ended up being a fake towards the end, and they called the audio to move towards that A site. But it was just lacking, again, utility to really open up that site. Imagine if that pit was gone. I think things would have been a lot easier for 2G to scale into the site with. Now this timeout being called on the side of the attack once again. I don't really think even G2 used one throughout the whole series yet, so they've been quite comfortable in their game plan so far. And for FaZe right now is potentially at this point, maybe you want to start disrespecting here this Viper wall in the side of middle. They've been pretty good here at baiting utility on that side of the B site, although lacking to bait util into the garage. You see sometimes in these setups here from this side of Baby Bay, the Razor Vines and the Flash is always really up in the garage when he sets it. So you really have to do a better job right now of manipulating these three sites on this map, which they haven't really done so far.
And I feel like 2G made it pretty far on that last A hit, focusing most of that Vise util now over towards A to stay, with the rest of the map covered by more of the agents, rest of the team. Now it's kind of 3 hovering B, 2 on B, 1 garage for that rotation towards C mid if they need to get anything on this one. What are they? I mean, the Sheriff's usually working pretty good here for 2G. It seems like they slow it down a little bit more, use that buddy system, and are taking less peaks that would really put them in a disadvantageous situation.
Definitely the pistols are really good against EG so far. Good on this opening. So Hero Guardian becomes now information as he ult on that body.
Well, Baby Bay goes for all the util to activate right now, so they just have to take a breath right on the side of 2G, and they walk in the spike right behind the duelist. Baby Bay is lurking though. The Judge could do a lot of damage, but he gets flashed right at the last moment from Spike, from the rest of the squad. Now able to come in and set up the defense of 2G.
Flash rendering it difficult now for G2 to get the retake. I don't even think you can use the Nightfall anymore because right now Jonah is being blocked off by a trip. Yeah, this might be just a save towards the end. Very hard to do here with losing all those players in the very beginning on that front B side. So what was supposed to be disrespect this Viper wall in their gun rounds for 2G becomes that type of play on an eco, and it works out, pays dividends. You get so much information after that pick and the ult being thrown here by Gobera that it becomes a free plant and a free round.
In 2G, they run this all the time, right? We'll see we'll see a lot of hero rifles. It'll go across different people. I think one of the ones that works best is with Gobera, because he also buys a Guardian. The lower buys to recoup some great guns as he goes down, Caster Curse. But yeah, it just works out really well if you're looking for the most investment in the ways that they do it. But there's a lot of times we'll see 2G happy to have a rifle on one and Sheriffs on the other, and they do a lot of damage. Whether it's the round winner or not, they drop their opponent to make that cost. See Baby Bay still trying to play a bit of that solo anchor role for some moments here behind his utility. I'm sure it's in line with what the team wants, but 2G may be figuring that out a bit. Might want to punish it if they can find him again. This time in B though, so it's not going to be a constant thing.
Yeah,
the attempt was there. Go for the aggressive pop flash right through the Viper wall and trying to just get players in position, but beautiful flash being set up here once again. Just G2 displaying different types of setups on their defensive side, either it be on Ascent or now on Haven. BBB gets full value out of that flash. That's one player down and hold into the next page. No more mid control. A split towards the A site. Free kill.
Not giving G2 enough credit in these situations that they'll be ready, that they'll be patient to keep those forward defensive spots, and already the push coming through here. Not Jonah, Baby Bay. It's in a pretty scary flank.
Who else?
Kills still. Okay, they're gonna pressure it. That's gonna be a Stinger getting a little upgrade as he moves his way through the map. Baby Bay is now gonna be closing in on that last member of Spike. The Valens forced to fight inside. They have Spike, so they really don't need to move back towards anything else. Spike is also Spike, and he is doing a thing right now as he starts to move towards the objective.
15's gonna have to move quick, but thankfully Jonah's in a great spot.
Bang bang. That's the technical term for that. He goes down. Jonah again there as a savior for the moment to get G2 another round. 6-3 here. Another 3 from 2G, and we'll have another half of 6-6 from map to map. They have to pick up something. I think the slow work, kind of touch and go, really worked out for them and got G2 slightly antsy enough.
Down by 76.
Time to jump.
Yeah, at least if anything from the fast tempo from the previous round, they started identifying how Valen's currently playing the sewer smoke. Not really giving himself a sight smoke, but it's an aggressive smoke right here at this spot.
Love you, Tanvir bhai.
Loves to play the aggressive angles on
Thank
his
you for the
defensive
10
side. It's a
pounds
high
of the
low,
euros.
just in front of Trent.
Thinking was बहुत ज़्यादा.
Now you're starting to see here, finally we're trying to break that util towards that garage. The wall is still up towards B. This might be the next step now for 2G.
That was pretty telling. The Prowler just went long to see nothing, and only Yoru bottom mid. So you can already see they're not buying it. Valen's already backing up to the site to make sure they have a little pressure. They'll check one more time and probably make a move up long now to create and gain that space. Beautifully played there today. And now G2 haven't doing anything in mid. They're still waiting for G2 to peek. They got to get this activation in soon.
Fancy blade के पास कुछ ज़्यादा ही है. Oh, fancy, oi!
Unwrapping one, but Jogmo unwraps two as Valen gets his own. Oh, it falls apart so quick,
Oh, bhai! क्यों मारा?
Looked so good to start. 2G getting great openers into the garage. But just a slight overcook when they saw this control that they had and map control towards C. They called for the rotate back on that side, and the swing coming through from the front B side really makes it difficult. Thankfully, though, Spike is still up and gives a chance here for Prize to at least get a plant. He's actually far away from the last few players of G2. I mean, that even 3, rather. Jogmo's still alive towards A heaven as well.
This will definitely help. Like you said, money in the pocket here. Drop a few guns would be even better. Gets the tag on him, so trailed all the way through this by the Fade Nightfall. It's going to be tough to find a hiding spot.
G2's running up here because Prize is deafened. And now the gap's been closed.
And they're waiting for each other too. Okay, now swing. Everybody one time. No mistakes. Not playing with their food this time as they just want that. It's going to go to Trent. Just use the ult, but they want it back.
The read at the beginning for 2G was quite nice, though. They engage into the garage. They heard the judge being shot by Baby Bay. Baby Bay goes for the reposition right at the same spot, and you just spray into the garage doors, and Spike gets that kill. So good reads on it to open up that side, and then that happens, unfortunately.
Shorter, I can just end it, right? Just toss.
Yeah, Dad.
Everyone agrees. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
At least 10 out of 10 on the defense for G2 so far.
3 more away from that.
Already half to जीत गए भाई.
Here for the side of Gobera, they're still kind of low buying in to make sure they can squeeze in some of these buys while still getting their full gun rounds in. Hopefully not shy on any util.
Any recommendation जो खराब है या जो पुराना?
Starting off the wall in this garage side.
Hello. Corners can be like that.
मजाक सच का 3 मार सकते हैं. Thank you for the membership.
We're able to insert in that corner. So, you know, why would 2G be kind of worried about it? It's an always have to worry against G2 kind of thing.
And that's the difference here against G2. Just remember that first map when you're playing an off-angle inside wine after like 8 rounds on the defense for 2G. It's still being cleared by Valen. So that's just a lack here of trying to find that information and identifying these positions that players can be at. Valen doesn't even care about being hit by the vulnerable. And Prize once again on the 1v4. Cannot get the single pick there onto that one player in the front.
Yeah.
They're strong in our B team.
Pulling away finally in the last 3 rounds here.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, seems to be just G2 in full control of this map. I was just going to mention breaking that wall in the first place with the decoy could actually be quite nice because he had potentially ways to close that gap on the A side from the fake from the garage because that kill contract was still up. But they didn't check the corner. Two players in the process and any type of momentum they wanted to build into the A side hit.
Oh. Almost trying to play off the flash. He's going from all around the map. Oh my gosh. Dimensional drift trying to give the Hunter's Fury a place to shoot. Eyes in the sky, if you will, as the kill contract comes out here. We finally get to see how this happens through the wall instantly. Had a Valen there with a double tap up. No worries if he did get hit. And this is a quick final round here. It seems like 2G kind of brushed off the pressure of this 5-round gap and played what they wanted to. It felt good onto Garage, and they pushed through. They work really well behind the dimensional drift. It's just, it doesn't have to be that every time, right?
It's unlucky because BBB got caught in the crossfire. He's still trying to Hunter's Fury against Valen, and he runs right in front of him. This looks to be a sealed deal now for 2G for the last round.
Time to jump. You're done.
Last few kills from Jogamo. They look for the spike here, but LZ is able to get one. There's another one onto Trent. They cannot get through the 3 members of 2G. That's 4 on the attacker side as they now move to defense, and it's going to get only tougher from here as G2 are going to have reign over that attack side of the map.
That's the thing, just a little bit unfortunate events there coming out for 2G side. Yes, salvaging 4 rounds at least, but end of the day, it's still G2 showing that they still have full control of this series. 2G, they have to come up with something here.
And before our next half, we're going to throw it over to Dryad, who's at the watch party booth with a very special guest.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm here with Eugen, who I heard you're a little bit of a variety streamer, but I also heard that you've been here a few times to the Riot Games Arena, so what keeps you coming back?
I just think that it's really fun to feel like the energy of the crowd compared to just watching the games at home. So whenever I do get invited, I'm just like, heck yes.
From the few times that you've been here, what fans do you think are the craziest that are always so energetic?
I think Sentinels. Like, I think the crowd is always biggest and most hype whenever Sentinels is playing.
And I also heard that you're an Astra main. I'm a Arena main, like big main, you know? So for Astra, do you have any tips for the audience?
No, I peaked Diamond. I don't think I have like any liberties to tell people how to play or what to play.
Okay, just playing the Astra, having fun. That's great. And also for this series specifically, with the 2 Ascension teams, do you have any predictions? What I mean, it seems like it's a bit one-sided, but what do you think?
I'm gonna
There's one person who knows Astra better than anybody else.
G2 probably winning it, taking it home.
All right, it does seem like that's gonna be the case. Thank you so much, Eugen, for joining us. Can we hear for Eugen in the audience? Thank you guys so much. We're gonna toss it back to the casters.
Thank you, March, Eugen, and Dryad, and Diamond's nothing to scoff at. A lot of people out there looking for tips.
Is that still a 0.1% of the audience?
That's up there. Yeah. It's up there. Definitely. I'll take those smokes any day. All right, we are going into game now with 2G, G2. Do have double controller on this one for G2, so they're enjoying the smokes, just no Astra.
Yeah, and the good thing about this matchup at least is the preparation here that FaZe could bring for this matchup against G2, because this wall that's currently being tossed up here by Jonah P is something that was signature on their side too since the early days of Challengers. This time around, you're looking at this matchup though. On the pistol, 2G are actually investing into 4 ghosts. LZ going for double smokes, paranoia, and armor to help out the team on these fights. But they're definitely looking to disrespect here the utility to start things off on G2's slow pace because of the Viper Lurk potential now over on their attack side.
Let's see that. Just get up there. Smeeg, the Smeeg himself, right? How do you beat Smeeg? Is it with Smeeg? Is the question. Spike's going to try here to just stop that right in his tracks. He's going to regain that health off the C's decay, so not too big of a problem there, but I'd say that's a good start.
Definitely. They have player advantage on top of that, but the flash has been used right away here for LZ for that fight into the garage area. So it gives a chance now for G2 death falling into the A site.
Yeah, it looks like it's theirs. It's full retake. A lot of good utility to come back in with the Sova.
So Jonah just went for the lineup here outside of A-Long just to slow things down with the poison being thrown towards that spot. Now you cycle these smokes, making it a lot more difficult for 2G to retake.
They're trying to hide in it. They're actually going to eat a flash right inside, too. All of them try to turn that, so it's going to delay even more. Now they get the gas in the face, too. Exactly what you were talking about. Just the layering of annoyance here by smokes, by coverage, and the ability to not find your target. Forcing now Prize to jump out. Valen's going to find 3. It's not the extended clip he wanted. Prize and Trent. We're not down to a 1v1 just yet, but Trent's able to get that without the help of Jonah P, who was just creeping back on the long side, and Valen very proud of his team in that situation to keep it going.
Yeah, when you look at it for G2, it was very annoying to deal against here for 2G side. You just mentioned it, smoke after smoke from flat to flat. A little bit of an overheat coming out from Doggo, but thankfully, you got Valen right here with the trip kill. 18-8 on this map. The Des talked about him having a life gain. And that was like kind of like a win con to keep the series quite close against Sentinels. Well, it's Valen having another great game. Now also leading a charge for G2's victory against 2G.
The deadlift becomes a power lift. He's just absolutely wild in these past series here for the team. And right back into the site. I mean, it looks like we just started from inside the site last round here with the speed that G2 is trying to work. Flashes are up, but even when they're flashed, they're still pushing forward. They're adding, just people to the mix, making it difficult even if someone does peek to get those targets in. They're all on the same page for these plays, and it looks fantastic.
And we had great value in the very beginning from the recon guard on the defense. They're just weren't quick enough to set up against G2's just plow with the stinger buy. On top of that, you have a stinger buy from winning the pistol too, so you have utility on top of that to stack with, a lot more util on the attack to just not give a chance here for the Brazilian team to hold a defensive line.
And they're so, like everybody is, but they're so happy. Valen as well to keep that stinger for an extended period now into this round. The other, so much money saved up because they have that. Next match is Sentinels, it's up to them to create those close quarter situations that you were talking about before. Get the return on that stinger as much as possible. See if G2 can prevent that from happening as they start long and play long from just about every distance here.
It won't be as easy here for G2 to get value to close that gap with the stinger buy. Remember when they're getting a lot of good value out of this is because they're playing, for example, Breach Teo in the past, allowing here Jogano to gain some space. So you're seeing the difference, playing more of a death ball. 2 players following behind Jogano, TP's into the site, and now here's the battle coming through.
All the way back to the right side of Logs, gets the bite down and actually a bit of damage to follow up through that as the kills are trading into sight. 2-2, and now it's just Jonah P. After the swarm of 2G hits the site, Jonah gets a stinger through the smoke, goes for the classic jumper on the right side. But Prize locks it down, and it's not going to be enough.
Professor thought that his last opponent was trying to close that gap after he got his first pick. You see on the other end, Prize stayed very patient out in the open and making sure that he plays a distance against that close range stinger, potentially even a right-click classic. He runs right into it and dies. But that is some heavy damage being done on the econ for 2G.
Both damage, both.
Losing this round here for 2G would put the attack side at 11 and a broken econ for the defense. So they have to win this round very cleanly for 2G. It's not with aggression, it's with information. Recon to start things off, not being broken up. So they know now that G2 is kind of leaning towards mid, which is why you see the instant TP away from Spike to support now the B-Slide Garage lead.
Trent finds the ISO. They know exactly where Silence is now. Depends on how much they've seen around the ISO and if they've actually seen Spike and Silence doing this buddy system walk around. As LZ gets the Guardian to sing, starting off on a Jogamo for a very important round here.
Yeah. Jaw once again in these scenarios where he dies and he's putting G2 in a position where they have to work as a group once again. And it works out. Counter lurk, one, a push up towards front B. Beautiful trades. G2 now somehow in a lead in terms of numbers.
Bro.
Jeez.
Bro, by
team it up, knocks it down. Just the 1, 2, 3 here. What mouse do you use?
I'm using V3 Pro.
Now it's just going to be Gobera keeping himself safe.
Probably keeping his gun.
Yeah.
We talked about the broken econ. I mean, thankfully, silver lining is if you remember the first half, you had a similar scenario. Gobera with a hero rifle, couple of shares across the board, classics, and they were able to win that round and convert it on the side with an opener from Gobera. Now it's going to be a little bit different because they can't dictate the pace. It's G2 now working on the attack side. Again, this is an opportunity for the attack to be pretty much at 12.
The Champions bundle कब आएगी जब Champs आएगा. Champs के टाइम पे आता है usually.
Quite a few alive as well as they bolster the money. They get closer to 13. And now I think 2G is kind of out of options. They have things to run, but they've been figured out by G2. And the options are there. It's just which ones can they vary and spice up here to throw G2 off. They don't just consist of that dimensional drift. The timeout will come in.
क्या करेंगे अभी ये लोग पैसा नहीं है ना सर.
That gets them a few more rounds here and throws G2 off.
Yeah, it's a very important timeout being called here by Basil. Of course, this would put them at a deficit where G2 could just clean it up on a 2-0 clean win. But once we get back into the game, you'll notice here, chat, that we are basically one away from being dimensional drift, kill contract, and also the Omen ult. If not, if it comes down to maybe Prize 2 away from his Hunter's Fury. This might be one of those calls where they have to add that pressure to fight control into A main so that they could potentially get good value off the Jonah P lurk. And if there's nobody fighting back here on the side of G2, well, at least you have that kill contract and a dimensional drift that you could pick up and utilize that into the later rounds. So I think that might have to be the Hail Mary for the side of G2 to stay alive within this round. And look at how they're rotated across here at the beginning. 3 of them already moving towards this A side, maybe even a TP being set up for a fast rotate from Spike over to the C site. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's 4 players on a 4-1 setup on that side of 2G.
With that gate crash towards the other side of the map, they are going for.
Welcome, buddy.
Yeah, and sorry, they have everything else on the B side and C side to really get information for the side of Gobera.
Trent right down long, somehow separated from 3 that could have been peeking. Probably some util also going off, so not all guns out here, but that's 2. And the action long starts to initiate as well. Silence coming up with 1, but he's going to be low on this. So is Jonah P, but Jonah still wants to fight. Nabs off the double tap as well, I believe, on Silence. So they should be good to go here. And that's going to wear out. He won't be able to activate another orb either.
But this might be a round where you still want to invest here on the side of Silence. The clock continues to run down. You have an opportunity to even isolate a 1v1 and then go for a 2v2 retake. Unfortunately for Spike, yes, he's able to get the dimensional drift, but that's after he gets picked off there by Trent. Whereas you've mentioned here with the counter-aggression coming out from G2, knowing the win con for 2G on that previous round, or in this round rather, they just wanted to fight toe-to-toe. Wanted to show that they could brawl just like 2G. More than erase down this clock again. An opportunity here for Spike, or sorry, for Silence to play the 1v1 into the Gulag.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, once that plant comes down, it might be the hit. G2 knows they're out of sight. Less than 20 seconds. Nobody's going to be silly enough to play an angle, right? Right? No, right. They're out. It's going to be that plant. Here it goes. All right. He's got Jonah P. He's been hot all game. Can Silence do it again? Yes, he can. That's going to be a spike plant, though, as he comes back in. It was Gobera waiting just a moment for his teammate to get back in for the 2v2.
Yep, wall to scale and even a double tap after coming out of that Gulag, but it's slowed down by Razorvines.
The drop to his left. The drop to his left! He hits the box. They weren't expecting it. It didn't make the full sound of breaking his own ankles. That's 1 from Valen. The leader to put him on the final point. Valen doesn't miss a beat. Locks in the Red Bull clutch for G2.
Continues to shine for G2 is the IGO. On the side of Valen, now dropping 21.
I can have tomorrow.
Over 20 bomb into that one, and that 2v2, I mean, it worked into perfection for 2G to isolate that fight towards hell. But it's Valen leveraging the util out from Omen 2. Fake TP swings out for the 1v1.
Let's go, Jay.
Puts G2 at map and series point.
And you got to be considering these are not rounds that G2 should be winning. That's a 2v1. Yes, they can be won. It's not super bad, but G2 has done it multiple times to add up to super bad now, right? They have just won so many rounds in the end there that they probably should have lost, and that's why G2 12-5 now here in the second map.
My copium is that Superbad is a good movie, so that 2G maybe could turn things around now.
Keyboard and monitor setup must hai.
Bags of tricks, Hunter's Fury, and also the ult available here from the Dimensional Drift. This is a perfect opportunity to play where you can combine these tools. You are playing a very forward position on the side of Fries, and Spike's just going on a little bit of a stroll. Never expected the lurk here, the position from Trent outside of Garage, and that combo is going to be gone.
My ultimate is ready.
The rest of the team squeeze in here to add what could be
the final
match,
pressure
baby. Onto this match versus 2G. Gobert again with the Guardian. Comes up big, gets a ping, but the ultra about safe. Oh, he's trying to go off the residual pings from the ultimate. It's just not delivering enough info in time. And now they're set up to drop into the site. A little pain all around on these health bars, but G2 still stands a member up.
Now you have no choice but to drop down Heaven to get the most value. Being watched now, long range, easily done.
Easy killa pe. Last में थोड़ा ज़्यादा close.
3 kills in an instant when you think the play had a little bit more to go, but that's been the story of this game. You think they had a little bit more, but G2 act on it immediately, take everything away. That's the series in 2 as G2 take down 2G.
एक महाराजा और एक Max spicy paneer.
Still some smiles coming across here for 2G despite the loss. They still had a lot of these rounds where it came down to chaos where almost they could have taken the upper hand. But just as you mentioned at the end of that first map, it was a lot of the macro that was kind of missing here for 2G side. But fighting toe-to-toe, they definitely have the firepower on the side of the Brazilian squad. For G2, this was an easy win in their book, and on the top of that, something that they wanted. They wanted to start winning right away going into week 2. Valen mentioned having Baby Bay coming in as a sub, week 1, you're opening things up against a tough team like Sentinels. You're just kind of like easing in Baby Bay into a tough match, but then the rest of the strength of the schedule should allow for them to go for that playoff.
भाई वॉच पार्टी के वजह से जस्ट से मैं शो मैच खेला हूँ, मैं बैंकॉक गया हूँ, मैं 2 बार कोरिया गया हूँ, और ये साल कुछ तड़कता भड़कता होने वाला है, तो लाइव बर करने को रेडी हो भाई. लाइव बर जस्ट से भाई तुमको सुन के मेरा भी ऑर्डर करना पड़ा. ऑर्डर कर दिया क्या? How many times you reached traded? 5 times baby.
Power is still very much there even with one person out. And they're still a team to be reckoned with. They're G2.
Sideshow mentioned that G2's roster is kind of like some of their parts where Jogimo has to be the one
I can't
kind of like activated when he doesn't, the rest of the team
Exactly.
could
Can
do
fill
it.
the spot.
And thankfully, though, the question mark was like, okay, well, he lost Leaf at that point. If Jogimo is still being the first one dying or not putting as much pressure into the team, the rest of the team do it, and he definitely can with Baby Bay.
Awesome stuff coming in there from G2 to be able to take that one. Wait and see who we got. Oh, it does look like we got somebody. So we're going to send you down over to Dryad on stage for the Verizon post-match interview with Trent.
Thank you, guys. Let's hear it for Trent and G2 as they get that win of stage 2. And Trent, congratulations. The first thing I want to ask you is, your team is already qualified for champions since Toronto. So what is the mentality that you guys have for the stage 2?
We definitely still want to win, and I think we're just coming in and giving our all each game, no matter what, no matter who's playing. So we just want to win.
I feel like that's also something that we've seen with the addition of Baby Bay, and he's bringing a lot of energy, something that you guys were talking about on social media. What does he bring to the team, and how is he fitting right now?
He definitely brings a lot of energy. He tries to keep us hype. He always is yelling after the round. If he kills somebody mid-round, you know it. I just hear it from him. So it's really fun to play with him. He's definitely smart too. You know, he's a caster, so he watches a lot of games. And yeah, he's a really good addition to our team.
It's been super fun to watch. I also want to ask you a little bit about what we saw in Ascent both last week and this week. You guys talked about being a very strong Ascent team, and now we're seeing that competition with the Chamber. When does that decision come to be of you guys playing this competition, and why?
Well, Baby Bay used to be an opper, duelist one trick, so slot him on Chamber, give him an op, and he's faster than half of the guys out here, so just give it the op.
It's been working out. I mean, it's been great. I remember that the opening game, the things that he was doing to get those openings, that was crazy. Well, my last question for you, talking a little bit about those chambers, that next match is going to be against Evil Geniuses, and Derek has also been looking insane on that chamber. So how do you feel about that series?
I think it'll be a good game, but you know, confident in my boys, confident in our team, and I think it should be good for us.
All right, thank you so much. Can we hear it once again for Trent? This is everything that we have. Thank you guys so much.
Gives you wings.
The human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Eu tô muito animado para jogar contra Sentinels porque é um dos melhores times que tem esse servidor, então vai ser uma experiência muito boa pro nosso time.
Yeah, our match against Furia definitely gonna focus on ourselves more than them, to be honest, because they have a whole new roster.
Tô muito ansioso porque eu quero muito enfrentar o Zekken. Eu acho que ele é um dos melhores duelistas do mundo.
Wily off angle here, and Zekken is looking beautiful from it.
Então é quase a pessoa que aprende superando o mestre, sabe?
It's not easy playing against teams like this because obviously you have no read on them. They're like the super underdog. They do very unexpected stuff. They play with full confidence. Sometimes it's kind of like a very good way to play, to be honest. They're kind of like playing with no pressure, whereas us, it's like obviously full pressure. Everyone expects us to win against them. Like not only a win, but like a very convincing win. But we don't really care about the outside noise. I think our way of doing things will be better and we'll win.
A gente tem pessoas muito novas dentro do time, então, bom, se a gente ganhar vai ser uma vitória deslumbrante, mas se a gente perder, que essa derrota nos ensine alguma coisa.
Welcome
back to VCT Americas and our second match on this Friday. It's Furia taking on Sentinels. I am Zoe, and on the desk with me once again are Bren and Sideshow. Let's break this one down.
I like the way that John set it up. He was like, everyone expects us to win very cleanly, and if we don't,
Yeah, but I mean, that can add pressure. Unfortunately, though, Sentinels are very experienced players, so I don't think they're going to let this one get to them. On the other side, I want to talk about Furia first. Odds are stacked up against them last week already. They weren't their full roster. They made changes after the disappointing stage 1, but the changes weren't here yet.
Yes.
And they're still not here.
They're still not here. Yeah. Basic and Coach Shaw still not here due to some of the visa issues. And that's unfortunate for them, for sure. There were a couple of moments where they looked like they had chances. The first half they played against Cloud9 on Haven, for example. But I think, honestly, I think the players are right. You just got to kind of send it in a match like this. You got to take all of the thought of like how much underdogs you are out of the window and just play with no pressure and try to catch Sentinels completely unaware.
But the trouble is, teams are not going to be caught unaware. They're just not at this level of the play. So it's unfortunate. I mean, are you in the market for a bridge? How much money do you have? It's and your answer really depends on what I'm going to tell you next, to be honest, because it's rough for Furia. I really do feel for them because they're all competitors that want to compete just on a level playing field, but they have never, ever, ever gotten the chance to.
That's
at
true.
The beginning of both stages.
But this is also a new rebuild of Furia that's supposed to be building, I think, for the future. They've got like younger players. They've got players that haven't had as much experience, so they're like building them up into something. And so even if you lose today, it's about learning from that and putting things forward.
Which is what Paolo was talking about.
Exactly. And Paolo, one of the players who has lost and learned at this stage before.
Last time, and having had that previous experience surely comes in handy. Obviously, also having a Versa as your stand-in when your roster isn't complete could be way worse. Versa, we know what he can do. Building teams around players like Heat, like that's not a bad strat, right? So yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to show us today in this uphill battle that they will be fighting against Sentinels. Let's actually hear what Tui's had to say to Dryad ahead of today's match.
Close जा सकता है अगर Furia
I'm here with Tui's ahead of match 2 against Sentinels. Tui's, now that you got a little bit more time to practice with the current squad, what are some of the individual strengths that your teammates have that can help you win today and get some wins for the rest of the stage?
I think the biggest thing we have, I think, is the productivity. I think all the guys has a good productivity, and this week we are improving a lot. So I think this thing is gonna help us to win.
Best of luck today.
Thank you.
Bichara, nervous introvert hai.
Okay, proactivity. Is this code for we're gonna send it?
Yeah.
It kind of sounded like it, didn't it?
I
think so.
Well, it's gonna be, an uphill battle for them, as we said. But Bren, you're a hopeful guy.
I can be
You can
at times.
inspire hope in
I've been
teams.
known to be an optimist, as much as Esports is trying to grind it out of me. Yeah, but
and they keep on doing
getting all giddy.
I want you to help us out here a little bit here as well, right?
Okay.
So Sen, yes. they are the favorite here.
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean, they had a tough game versus G2, and G2 were also looking pretty weak.
ऐसा कुछ सीन है क्या?
You're realistically looking at one of the teams that didn't have a lot of time to adjust off the back of this little miniature off-season that we've had. But despite that fact, Sen were looking pretty phenomenal, I think, as well. You wouldn't have expected them to have... I would have expected them to have gaps in their map pool, personally, as well, because they had such little time to prep. But on Corrode, they were looking amazing, so it's...
They did only just win, though, against a G2 with Baby Bay. Does that knock them down in any points in your mind?
I was about to say, can we really ding them on that?
I don't know. I'm posing the question.
It's bizarre, really, isn't it? Because I don't really know where I would rank the teams, as we tried to rank them in prior weeks and failed.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
crazy game
so it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. But for them, listen, Sentinels can come into this one locked in. I think they said it best as well in some of the interview pieces that we saw beforehand, which is just we're going to focus on our own game. We're just going to focus on improving, keep iterating on what we're building, and that's one of the best ways. You can't get sucked into this narrative in your heads that you're supposed to be winning in a dominant fashion.
Yeah, I think that puts a little bit too much pressure on you, but think about the strength of schedule that they've got. They opened against a beatable G2 with Baby Bay, with Leaf out, and now they get to play against Furia, who, this is, I mean, let's be real, it's about as far away in any power rankings as you could get. Like, Sen are always going to be somewhere towards the top, Furia have been towards the bottom. So they've actually got quite a soft way of entering back into stage 2, and it should set Sen up for a lot of success, a lot of confidence.
Yeah, so even if we see some changes that they're making there as well, looking at John Cutie and the roles there. So, you know, this should set them up well for the rest of stage 2.
ये
we don't want to lose.
You're looking at me again to be the...
I need to be the guy. I need someone to be the guy.
So, okay, you want to hear the keys to victory for Furia here? Because I've been thinking about this for quite some while. I'm not going to lie. For quite some while. Way more than I should have been. The key to victory for Furia. I've got a few pieces. The first one is, I think, finding the ancient Sumerian Empire and possibly finding a stone altar and possibly a livestock that you can then sacrifice on the altar.
I think they've done that recently. That's why they were off. That's where Basic is.
That's where they were. That's what Basic is. He's still hunting down for the ruins as we speak.
I thought he's the sacrifice.
Now, the second thing that I need them to do is possibly break into the peripheral lockers and find where Sentinels are stationed. But that might be breaking some form of laws. It's definitely unethical.
Oh, definitely.
And it might get you kicked out of the league. So I can't condone it.
No,
I cannot condone it. But that's also a key to victory. So, and then the last thing I think is, well, okay, well, maybe you could lead into some of the maps, because the map pool just changed, and Sentinels, they've been gallivanting halfway across the world. They haven't had time to play on Corrode and Bind and shore up those maps. So surely you can pinpoint some of those maps and find them as key areas of weakness, right? Surely Sentinels are not good at Corrode, right?
Do you want to tell him? Do you want to tell him? Yeah, hold the hands.
Never been so wrong.
Oh, no!
I mean, Sen just looked insanely good on Corrode when we saw them play it. So even though that could be like a great upset area, I don't think it's going to work.
So all in all, keep watching, guys. Keep watching. Keep watching. You never know. Dude, if it happens, you don't want to be saying I was doing laundry when that game was on. And I was there for the 1% chance of Furia beat Sentinels. You don't want to miss that.
You do say Sen looked incredible on Corrode. They looked incredible on their attack side of Corrode.
They did, but I do want to break down why they looked so good on their attack side. So I've got a telestrator that I want to here as well. And first off, though, I don't want to start with Sentinels and what they did well. I want to start with another team that ran the same composition as Sentinels and show you what can go a little bit wrong with things. So Crew run the same idea as Sentinels do. And here's what we're going to be focused on, right? The focus for us in terms of comparing these teams is taking a look at what the Viper Wall is up to and taking a look at how fast they scale up into mid. This whole map is about mid control. The attackers have it, they can pivot through to A, they can maybe even pivot through to B with a bit of B main pressure, and a lot of this is going to come off the Viper Wall. Now, Crew's idea is we're going to use the Viper Wall to try to lurk pressure, put lurk pressure onto A. And what we see them do is they're very slow at taking mid. Now, this is one of the rounds actually where they're even trying to fake mid control. So they throw down a smoke towards top mid, right?
Last year अपन ने क्या किया था? सन को किया था बाहर का स्ट्रीमर को
but they never actually get through this barrier. This is a defensive smoke, and Dante never goes through it. So they're not actually creating presence in mid, not real hard presence. They're just kind of putting a bit of a question mark there that's very easily cleared. MIBR with Artazine playing Yoru just walks down mid, and he's very confident at this point nobody from Crew is actually in control of mid. Artezine always has the ability to escape with a gate crash. He does actually get caught in this round. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. Shai gets the kill onto him. But if we take a look at the minimap again, you can see that they still have full information down mid, which keeps these players defending A.
There are a lot of games to play on Steam.
It makes it very simple for MIR to crush this hit when it comes through with a pull, with a nade, and Crew's hit just ends up getting stifled. And so this is an example of not taking mid control and how that can punish you when you go other areas of the map. So let's take a look at what Sentinels did, right? And one of the biggest differences is where they put the Viper Wall. Because this Viper Wall is going to allow you to walk up mid pretty safely. Because they can't peek you from A-Link. They can't peek you from the main portion of mid, even if they go through that initial smoke. So here comes the Haunt up over the top. There's the Viper Wall. Joe gets forced away, and
no, I can't watch match without your watch party. Love you, goodbye.
What this allows is they're able to get a execs working, a pivots working, the Prowler even connects on Valen, follow up with a Paranoia, all to try to set Zekken up for much more aggressive scaling. So this team is able to actually go more aggressive, take mid control, and has a nice look on the map. And for more on Sentinel's Corrode strategies, Dryad caught up with Zekken for a quick chat.
Thank you guys. I'm here with Zekken ahead of match 2. And Zekken, after that week 1, Sentinels looks like the best Corrode team. How much time have you guys had to prepare? And was the fast neon plays that you guys were doing always the vision of how you wanted to play it?
We didn't have too much time to prep it because there was a quick turnaround between events, but we're all on comfort agents and the neon gets to run around and be really fast, but we're just all really comfortable with the agents we're playing and we can all make plays with it and be creative even in like kind of basic defaults, so it's been a lot of fun so far.
I hope you can see it again. Good luck.
Tension लेके मतलब नहीं है.
I do love that he said that with no smile on his face. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Well, the Neon gets to run around because he plays it aggressively and gets set up by the team. You see other Neons and they're just kind of like wandering around super slow on the map. So Zekken's having more fun than most.
That's right, that's right. Well, can be punished wasn't in that case. I'm very interested to see what those teams are pulling out of the back this time around as they are ready to take to the stage. All right, attention co-streamers, Sentinels are taking this stage, and listen, they started stage 2 with a win, and we finally got to see Joe Keely playing Sentinel agents again, so all all is well in Sin City.
Yeah. Do you think I can put up my phone right now? The live coaching.
We all start
the crowd.
Because Sentinels are out there. Yeah, maybe. No, it's time to lock in. In theory, this should be Sen's easiest game of the stage. Weird things happen though when you say that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So you can't take your foot off the gas. At the same time, it should be quite a quick day, and if Furia don't make it a quick day, then there's something really interesting going on.
Right, that spoke like someone with dinner plans. Looking at today's schedule, I like that for you. I like that for you. But Furia has something to say in the matter here. Of course, they had a tough stage 1. They made changes heading into the second one. Unfortunately, you won't get to see any of that as they were still forced to play this up. The coach is not in the building either, but you know what? Pressure is off.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I'm just going to say right now, you don't want to miss the 1% chance.
Where were you?
Where were you when Furia beat Sentinels? Now, listen, this is a team, all the pressure's off their shoulders, they're a dangerous squad, and when you get into that mentality that this is supposed to be an easy win, when the first thing starts to go wrong, all I'm saying is that's when the tilt settles in.
Yeah, it could do. If you see Narrate slamming his desk after 3 rounds, oh baby, we got a game. 99% of VCT America's viewers stop right before Furia gets their big upset victory. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let's take a look at where our teams are taking us for this one.
Okay, so Corrode at the end is interesting, but it's actually Icebox destroying my attention because of John. John, in the previous match that we saw, played Viper and then Cypher and then back to Viper. Here, it should be similar, but I don't know what he's going to play on Icebox. I don't know if he's going to pick up the main Senti role or whether that's going to be Zelsis. And so he could be playing Omen, he could be playing Initiator. That's quite an interesting map, actually, in terms of has John gone full Sentinel, like back to his previous role.
Is that the one that proves it?
Yeah, I think so, because if he comes out and he's playing like Killjoy or something, that kind of indicates that John is like now just full-time returning back to being the Sentinel IGL, which would be unusual, but something that a lot of Sen fans have been calling for over time.
But we're kicking things off on Sunset, so surely John Cutie is just going to be on the Viper.
I would assume so, yes. I think that a lot of teams are running double smokes compositions on this map, and there you can get some good value by lurking on the Viper. It's something that fits in, and it works with the meta right now.
Slower pace games, good played, I think, as well. And I mean, honestly, map 2 Vice Box, it's nothing too interesting to pick apart there for Furia's pick. But I have to imagine from their perspective, it's a map that is tried and tested at this point for decades. The calling is going to be simplified as a result. Everyone roughly knows what they need to do.
And it's also like
a
you essentially need to be
We've also not seen a lot of them on Icebox, right? They played it last stage one singular time. They did lose it then as well.
Yeah, it's a map though that historically they've enjoyed picking. I know it's a very different roster, but I mean, I think they picked it in a couple of like off-season events or something too. It's an area where you could see a map victory happening if Sentinels fall over a little bit. And that's kind of like one of the big keys to victory here, genuinely, is that Sen have to be having a bad day and Furia have to be having a great day. So I think very early on you'll see what the form looks like and whether we've got a possibility happening. Hello, hello.
Okay.
Double initiator for this one.
Obviously,
I want to set up util for Zeker on the Neon, not double smokes.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I thought they would be playing double smokes.
But
yeah, does indicate that John is kind of back to playing a lot of his classic Senti looks. He'll be getting lurks going, but to be honest with you, I mean, that's the Sage picks.
That's crazy work. I kind of mess with it though. If you are Furia and you're trying to simplify your game plan, there's nothing better than a Sage wall that doesn't get broken in the mid round to simplify where you need to play. So I kind of like it.
Okay, simplify your play, hope the opponent stumbles, or sacrifice a goat. One of these three things has to happen for Furia to take it. Let's hear what our casters have to say about this one. Uber and Wyatt on the mic.
Thank you very much, Zoe. Great to see Bren looking like a beacon of positivity here in the current year. You love to see that. We're back, of course, in the Riot Arena by express written request of Rob Moore to pad those Sentinels win stats potentially. However, Coach Kaplan Wyatt was not in the mood to give praise to the Sentinels team after that close shave last week. But Fury don't even have a coach to give them praise. In fact, I'm pretty sure, to my count, 14 different individuals have worn the Panther for Furia this year.
It is mental. And if you're just looking at any ranking right now, you are confronted by the team at the top of the list in Sen and Furia at the bottom, which to some extent, I feel like does a bit of a disservice to the quality of some of the players on their team.
Thanks for the popcorn,
it's just that as a team, they have no experience together. It's only been a couple weeks. Adverso subbing in, as good as he is, he's still a sub. What 2 weeks out in that interview pre-game, they felt like they've been proving this past week, improving, so maybe they can show that.
Strut up mid, Carlo waiting with a frenzy. It's going to be traded out instantly. Zekin trying to find that relay vault and can at least get the spike carry to hand. John has thrust himself relatively deep here. Though on Heat, almost got caught out on a timing. It's the Cyber Cage to give the Cypher a little bit of breathing room. And the recon will be respected.
And listen, though it's been a quiet year for Heat in 2025, it would feel wrong to count him out, given how great he was last year with Crew. It feels like a lot just due to the circumstances of this team. He hasn't been able to be at that same level.
Yeah, refer to the aforementioned 14 players in the jersey.
Difficult to
be fair, I am counting the All-American squad that we saw, you know, in their first game.
You want to stat pad this narrative, I respect it.
The numbers don't lie, my friend. There's a lot of threads of narrative in this game. We'll start to tuck into them in the next couple of rounds. That we've seen here an attempt at a retake. Whole line pretty well placed here. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. Adversary going to be dragged out into the sunlight and hit hard. Still is able to retuck once more. Shock here at the site. Definitely not far off with a little double face scenario here, and he's going to have a look at it. The recon thrown out. That's a clean shot from him. Zelsus got into half at the very least here. Adversary going to fall to his hand, and now gives it another tickle. Heat wants a crack at it. But again, he's been here before. Not born yesterday. A three-piece for Heat.
Sexy killer, man.
Well done in that 2 versus 2. Another narrative I was ready to touch on is the fact that the 2 players for Sen were John and Zelsus, who just recently role swapped. Excuse me, they're playing the same comp, but they're on different agents. Early for the Fury to get them at a nice advantage. Some good utility as well there from Adverso, which is causing some delay with the shocks, and then the recon comes in as well. Just something to distract, to swing off of.
Thank you, Sam, for you.
You know, heading into a bit of a metagame, we see less of that double initiator look on some maps. But John said he liked calling Toronto. Don't think it was Kobe said he was able to be more involved, but a lot of fans were calling for the switch back to Sentinel. And see how it plays out already. Another thrust up mid by Sen. This time to try to get the grips on the opponents, those weaker guns. Paolo's able to find Narrow, those speculating through the smoke in the flash that came in at Celsius. And John QT trying to hold their ground. But 2 guns dropped.
A reasonable bit of damage. More dangerous when Furia tried to push through that dark cover together to support everyone else in mid, but hey, all things considered, not too bad. Fully upgraded rifles coming into the first buy for Sen. Attempt to win a bonus. Keep this momentum going as a team that are just purely in upset mode. I mean, they have no expectations here. They can just throw caution to the wind and send it at a Sentinels team that almost lost to a G2 that are kind of in a similar boat. Obviously not to the same extent, but coming in with a sub, they made it so close against Sen last week. They can't feel fully comfortable with how that game went down, narrowly escaping with victory.
I like them getting out on the strong foot though, Sen selecting the Sunset map, which if you remember, Toronto was definitely one of their best looks. They've been able to take a map off Fnatic on this very map here. 2 years tries the TP forward. That's a little telegraphed apparently. Sentinels now got a little bit of time to make their way through, and the wall has a hole plugged through it.
Second mark nikla.
Paolo's pushing very deep, dodges that initial flash and does have a drone to play off of now. Does he want to scale even further forward? Yeah, he does. Will he check the corner?
Relay Bolt are going to force him back. Zekin now wants to have a peek at it. Slides on the cross and Arango goes down. The poison orb going to bloom, and there it was a Prowler catching on a Paolo. He got his back turned to the wrong time. Not ideal at all, and he's stuck there. Almost knifed down. He'll get his 6 before departing the round. Sen got the guns and they got on the board.
Blind pe pick kiya, reveal pe pick
exactly what you want to do when you have the Cypher on that site. Zekin's able to get that 1 kill. We go out, cool. They get the spike down. Who cares? Just time for the 5-on-4 retake when the Sage Wall expires over market.
Lovely movement. I mean, the level of play we're getting out of Zekin recently has been phenomenal.
It's insane.
This Neon, averaging 0.99 kills per round this season. Really playing some of his best Valorant.
That's since Toronto till now. That's over the course of 200 rounds as well. A global tournament and into this stage. Basically a kill per round. 280 ACS. Mental. I mean, you could argue or just flat out say that Zekin is in the best form over these last couple months that he's ever been in, period. And I would not be mad at that.
Of course, there's still some elements to this Sen squad that needs to settle. That mild role swap, seeing Celsius on the breach this map, maybe not what we would have expected. Look at Furia though, already up on B, got a lot of free room, but this is Sen playing mostly off-site. Pala, no shot is waiting, and look at him try and find the timing here. Looking to cross behind that cyber cage, and he gets away with it, refreshes it, and he'll bang the wall out too.
Zekin still backside. It's feeling like a bit of a rinse and repeat. Escapes, and now it's time for the 5-on-4 retake. Could even use that overdrive to get back in.
Sentinel getting grouped up here now by Boba. Might just want to explode. Zelsa still with all of that util to hand, so a pretty strong retake setup. Furia have to wait with bated breath as Parla on the front lines here. Sees fault line, Parla steps aside of it. Caught out though by that Prowler now. It's all getting thrown out of too much util. With his double initiator composition, here comes the overdrive. Zekin looks to line him up. And now Heat, once again, last man up. Zelsis will handle him. And it's an even game.
And this comp so far for Furia is working just as far as getting into the site, getting the spike down, but with Zekin able to net that initial opening kill twice in a row now, 2 rounds in a row, and then just retreats, they group up. I think you mentioned it, but the utility to get back in, to deny Paula, who's wants to be able to find an early kill, so it can just be an honest 4-on-4, denied that. Flashed, the haunt coming through as well.
I'm not even playing, I'm just on my camera.
Yeah, welcome back to Cypher duty, brother.
The
disparity between these comps is quite stark. Fury wants to take the site, the player, and then still util, but if Sen don't respect it, or they take that Sage wall down and have a sort of pinch flood onto a site, it overwhelms Fury.
And it really looks like they want to just go ahead and
क्या कर सकते हैं मालूम है स्लाइड चेंज
towards market yet again.
Market wall
they have come in dead set on a game plan.
Market wall मत करो.
Just the one flavor.
Side पे कुछ भी wall कर दो, market ले लो at least.
This time opting not to walk up on the B side. It's been free with John tucked closer to market. This time though he was sat back B. So good call, even if it was just a feeling for Furia. Instead, smoke top mid.
TT push नहीं कर सकते, breach है ना. गलत push कर दिया, scene हो जाता.
Ultimates that could maybe turn the tide on this round unless Zekin is able to just get a third opener in a row, and that's going to be the case.
Could have had more, but Relay Bolt here is going to allow him to retreat. Wall thrown up inside market. And here come Fury, eventually going to have a crack at this now. Caught out by the cam as once more, John living his best life, his big brother. Playing in and on the site. Got a trip here to work with Zekin. Up front, personal. Finds plenty of purchase there with the shorty. And the rest of the boys chime on in. These have been clean defense rounds, 3 in a row.
It just feels like he's stat padding at this point.
Are we all, Wyatt?
He's at a nice little 11 and 5.
Today's a stat padder's paradise, you know?
First bloods in a row. Picks up the outlaw in the perfect round to use it.
Be glad for 2 in the chamber there, big son.
Underrated shotgun as well, I'll be honest.
Underrated.
Yeah, pretty well above our
aura farming कर रहा है भाई.
Around here is Zekin so far. 5 rounds in, 11 kills.
रात के सुबह के 5 बजे.
Another overdrive. 5 बजे क्या? Here for narrate. A decent amount with Fury to bank on though. If they get a post plant with a Viper speed.
Time fast जा रहा है यारो.
At least somewhere to build off.
And Adversa, if he can in some way just get one more orb this round, would have a Hunter's Fury late. So they certainly have enough tools in the box to try and squeak out a round win. Things have been pretty dismal on the prior 3. This time opting to work towards mid, whereas Elsis has just been jiggle peeking. Obviously, where this noise pulling out caught and stunned, he is cooked.
Fault line there for Zekin.
Oh, by
now it's time for him to come forward. Yapala caught inside the relay bolt. Nothing you can do about it. Hasty TP back towards mid by 2 years, and now we need to see a pivot from Furia. Eyes over in the A direction as he is paving the way. It's too easy for back.
There's no way he tried to get that kill. That's just...
Yeah, pretty wild. Thinks he can just double up, I think, on that individual. They're doing the most right now, Sen. Very comfortably guarding the extremities of the map. Rango of Galori's fame there in Tier 2. We saw him
30 seconds left.
Close to ascending last year. A very stable, pretty collected caller in the Tier 2 scene. Got a big job on his hands today up against a monster like
with a new team, with subs, with no coach right now. That is...
Without Sato just to poison people and say go kill.
Yeah, that is a lot of pressure on the boy.
समझ में आ रहा है कि उसको कितना ज़्यादा
At least this Furia team do have some experienced players. That is a certainty. In this round though, it's really the Sentinel setup working exactly as they drew them up. That trap placed in top mid.
और ऐसा मारा है कि दूसरा कोई ट्रेड भी नहीं ले सकता.
See Paula trying to get forward, but denied. He's had a rough go of it so far, and it's not really his fault. It's that Sen are just overwhelming with util.
That is scripted, brother.
मारता भी अच्छा और support भी crazy ना.
Something
that
I sort of noticed in Fury's debut game against Cloud9. First of all, their inability to really shut down Oxy. He was really running it down on them, playing very brazen. Zekin is the kind of player that maybe without the same level of risk-taking will also do the same thing. Move up and take that space. We saw a lot of that from Sen's Corrode against G2, that aggressive mid take. Orango was being punished a lot on that Haven map. He was the one sat inside Garage, was always looking to take these fights, always throwing caution to the wind. Maybe it's a flavor he brings from his home range in terms of his play style. But he was getting, played off of pretty comfortably. G2
Why are you not slipping?
Into his aggressive tendencies. A slower start for Orango here as well, but 5 ultimates in the bank. Hunter's Fury most notably, alongside that overdrive, a good round for Parla to try and get into the game and assert himself.
This could even end up being a round where maybe they just, at some point, they want to go back and doing what they were executing on. They were getting the site, but this time you have a crazy amount of tools to just win out in the post plant, no matter how good Sen actually are at retaking. We'll see what the game plan is, though.
Sen always seem to have a bevy of retake at their disposal.
ये लोग का एक बार साइफर का ना
still being held onto by
कितना टाइप का ट्रिप्स डाला देखो ये 6 राउंड में.
Into B main here from Zekin on the close angle, had an opportunity, but obviously
एक बार देखो
required some pretty insane reactions. Not always able to get that kind of shot consistently. So Zekken falls back. More passive. The team is grouping up. They do want to go for this B-side execute.
Every round there's been a slight shuffle of Zekken and John.
Problem is that mid mein na at least
this time John able to watch with that cam, which looks into market and into
market. At least mid pe ek permanent default shot that ho jata.
Slower approach for Furia. They know they've got a lot to work with. Here comes the overdrive. John tucked here. Nightfall comes out in response. And okay, Parla streams on past him. He's able to take the Cypher out of the game. Zekken will give up the site. He knows there's a ton to work with in terms of getting back in.
Luckily for Furia, no one actually going down from that haunt. Sen, wow, they're going fast.
Back set hai nahi ye log ke paas.
That aftershock. Timing didn't quite pay off there though for Zekken as he tried to come forward. Parla's got 3 for the round. Viper's beating the post plant. Player advantage to work with for Furia. Narrate's already found his second in this round. And the other edge of the Viper's pit, Bang is starting to encroach upon. Prowler leads the way. Bang gets in there. Good conversion. Unreal. He just serves his dive up on a platter and Bang will knock some heads together. Consolation maybe that Fury doesn't overextend its ultimates in that round. But perhaps they'd be advised to bring a bit more into the post plant.
That is truly brutal round to lose. Should be unlosable, feels unlosable.
Kya mara bhai?
So much there.
Galat be.
That corner was a position he had played prior, and look at how stunning it was, expecting that it could be there again. Was correct. Free opening. Sen's repush denied. And it's all for naught. A 3-piece that just ultimately can't get around win, but they're fast now into this A site. Teleport in from 2Es.
Alright, getting tagged up by the Hunter's Fury. He will fall, but not before Parla is dealt with. Aggressive thrust by Furia onto this A site, but they are cut down to 4.
Bridge ke paas blinder hua hai. By elbow to clear
wants to teleport back to the rest of the team in main. Play an honest 4-on-4 retake kit out of dodge. And they've got a bit of utility to get back in. But it's a perhaps awkward that Zekken just has. Well, I was going to say the over to Celsius, picks up the rifle and immediately kills someone. All good.
He's been looking dynamic indeed with the Phantom, but here we go straight onto the side. Sliding on through is Zekken, gets himself in box. And Verso has a Rango deal with the threat for him. Now, no. Please don't do it. If you've ever wanted to know what it felt like to be a fly on the wall to the extinction of the dinosaurs, well, you're welcome.
They are just getting away with everything. Another round where Furia find the advantage. And it falls apart, man. You just hate to see that happen. This time a Rango, what a shot. Slide out with the overdrive. That was a sickening snap, but...
Bro?
Well, we know. This doesn't matter.
Just the pure tempo.
That's
around. Well, they are pretty light on that flash and stun you too. They still get the job done.
It was a cool hit from
Please
Furia as well. Really fast. Nice. Just sends that from the shadows to get tucked onto the A site. The rest of the team trying to play off that position was a cool idea, but now they're reduced to a pretty bad around 9. The Cloud rather drops. Bang. Able to stay alive.
Continues उसको बार-बार mid देखना पड़ रहा है.
Paranoia, Sen able to fall safely back off those lines, but Narrate's left tucked here. Gets his one now. Surely Bang's going to get involved, but he might not be needed. Parla gets his pound of flesh, but Bang asks for more. Sen advantage here in players, but locally, Furia have the numbers if they act quick.
I was waiting to see what Celsius was going to do. Could have even potentially ripped that Rolling Thunder, and the round might have been done in that moment. Paula's ready for this flank. He expects John to be somewhere.
John doesn't have to do anything but contain them right now. Like Furia, disrespect the cyber cage, double swing that and break out of what could have been a containment play.
Paula's fast into market right now, breaks the cam, is caught by the trip, and whoa, I mean, I don't know where that occurred.
That is top mid with an operator. Just as he is trying to pass by. And now it's down to Parla, 52 health and a dream. See the knock-in first of Zekken. But that plant looks like it's a mere fantasy at this point. 3 on the round for Parla, spotted out by Celsius.
Hold किया एक दूसरे को बस जब तक plan नहीं होता.
Sen have some really good little trap setups going right now. That time in A main, Celsius coming back through with the utility, had the stun. I mean, also that crossfire just immediately gets 2 kills before any of the util was really thrown out. And Nayak gets that first. Orango outpaces the relay ball just a half second, which is a little unfortunate. But even still, so much counter util was going to come back through from the Sentinels initiators.
Breach used
Okay, fast lane here over towards the A side of the map. Credit to Furia, still go with the up-tempo look even after some crushing rounds. But eventually, something's got to give. Pala just eats that one. Second is enough time to line him up, and fast lane himself out of elbow.
उसके मुंह पे prowler आया.
That's a reposition with the AWP. Wouldn't be surprised if he just
उसके मुंह
gets
पे stun आया. उसके मुंह पे aftershock आया. उसके मुंह पे एक और neon stun आया.
There's a play up mid, but there's a trap wire in the way. Here comes Inverso, flattened. Okay, Narrator almost had that one for free. Now, Orango to protect Inverso. No intervention attempt there from Sentinels, and Heat has finally gotten to top mid. Will have to give himself away across the threshold.
He is so hungry to take the fight, but forced to break the trip, and Bang is able to turn in time to deal with him.
Credit though, because it was an out drone that Bang had to deal with at the same time. He prioritizes correctly. And yep, neural theft here should lay the plans of Furia bare for Sentinels. There is a spike in the very middle of the map. So the defenders simply play to the edges and wait for Furia to walk into the trap.
30
Double
seconds
stacked
left.
up here. Less than 30 seconds. This should be it.
Okay, and there it is. The trades favor Sen City. 8-2. And again, looks like they're ready for everything that Furia are trying to throw at them. Furia have the tempo. They're playing with some pace at the start of the round, but they're being bombarded with a lot of this util that is bringing them to a standstill.
तुम लोगों को पता है क्यों हो रहा है?
Which maps Furia have
Simple answer है, simple.
into what they've wanted to put the most time into.
Simple answer है क्यों?
I feel like they kind of have a cheese comp that looks like a Genji Paper Rex love child approach on Sunset that they're just throwing at them to see what happens, and can't blame them for it. But maybe their odds will be a bit better when we get the Icebox, which is their actual pick, because this has just always been the home of Sen since the Zelsis John Cutie iteration of this team began. This has always been a go-to map.
Palo knows he has to get creative to try and dig Zekken out.
He's too good.
Nothing in the playbook for that!
He's too good. He's just too good.
I reiterate.
What can you do?
Refer to my previous example.
Popped
himself up on a wall, tried to boost in the kiosk. That was seen clean through by John. Nothing Fury is able to throw
भी थे, जो 4 एजेंट का कॉम्बो है ना, फेड, ओमेन, ब्रीच और नियॉन. इतना प्यारा है, इतना प्यारा. ब्रीच लाइन वाला स्टन दे सकता है, ओमेन लाइन वाला ब्लाइंड दे सकता है, फेड प्रॉलर रिवील सीज फेंक के रुका सकता है, अटका सकता है, इन्फो ले सकता है, और सबका साथ कॉम्बो कर सकता है जेल्सिस. अगर सीज में कोई फंसा फॉर एग्जांपल, और वो लोग को दिखा कि सीज में कोई फंसा जिगल में, उसको स्टन करना और मारना है. स्टन में कोई फंसा, उसको रीस्टन करना मारना. ब्लाइंड में पिक करते हो, कोई दिखा ब्लाइंड हुआ है, उसको भगा के भी मार सकते हैं, स्टन करके मार सकते हैं.
Sen somehow always have a double face set up on every possible angle, but the net might have been slipped. There's a trap wire in the way though for Furia.
इसका काउंटर वो है चैट, यूरो चेंबर.
So there's that. But the timing
Euro
was
chamber
like a Cloud9 attack side round from last week.
Omen though, TP wale agents basically.
You can't be doing that. All right. They're not even in the building. They can't even respond.
I'm sure they're listening.
Nothing will be saved after this.
Okay. Pretty stately round here for Sentinels. We are up to 9-2 heading into the last round of the half. The Sentinels are sitting on a pretty impressive package for retake. But right now, we haven't even gotten to that phase of the game. Look at this.
प्रॉब्लम है कि फॉर एग्जांपल इनके पास गेको भी रहता, या कुछ ऐसा ब्लाइंड वाला फिनिक्स भी रहता, यूरू रहता. जितना ब्लाइंड करेगा ना, ये लोग पीछे आएगा, और पीछे आने के बाद ये लोग वही यूटिलिटी डाल के घुसेगा, और वो घुसने वाला तुम लोग चीज रोक नहीं सकते.
Okay, so smoke top mid here for Furia. Again, gonna look to take this space up, and Parla will maybe look to open something up top mid.
भाई यहाँ पे फॉर एग्जांपल पॉप फ्लैश कुछ रहता तो खेलते खेल सकते थे साथ में लेकिन वो एक राउंड अगर हार भी गया बाद में साइफर में ट्रिप डाल देगा सिंपल
It's so cooked. Now, here comes that interrupting util. Big rolling thunder catches on to the players. Adversity able to shrug it off, or at least unaffected by it for the most part. Rango has an opening to heal himself back up.
Backside
Even numbers, but Senna in this site.
Just had a breakup. Bunks by feeling very low.
Pick off at Verso, they knew he was tucked in that corner.
I mean, Senna just looking to fight here.
Canada
There's no reason really to go forward. But they just want to get one over with, and so they do. A commanding first half. Pretty light-hearted out there. Spirits seem to be soaring in Sen City.
Life में कुछ अच्छा करो ताकि mom dad को proud feel करे.
If you're a Sentinels fan and you want to see your favorite team win, an
girlfriend तुम लोग को उधर जाके भी मिल जाएगा.
They're looking pretty solid, and this is one of their best maps in the pool, showing exactly why they made that look.
तो जाओ. 5 बज गया पंको 1 बजे जगाने का भी सुबह बेड भी आते सो
we definitely descended into the fan service of the Sentinels anime right here at halftime. But you know what? I am here for a quick break. We'll be back, of course, with more of Sunset.
विनोद से लॉकडाउन वाले दिन याद आ गया यार मीम था ना एक विनोद
Red Bull gives you wings.
ठीक है ऐसा म्यूजिक सुनो मस्त एक तो 8 बजे उठना है एक्चुअली में ठीक है आपका ब्रेकअप हो गया ना ये पढ़ो ओ ब्रेकअप वाले estimated female population in the world is 4.09 billion तुम लोगों को पता है इसमें से अगर एक जाएगा तो भी 4.09 बिलियन ही होएगा
Well, it was a pistol take for Furia at the start of this Sunset map, but I mean, if you've been watching Sentinels here on Sunset recently, you know they always bring the heat. And unfortunately for Furia, that guy has not been firing. It's been a tough start. Furia gets some early side control. But so what was on the side, gets a free pick, falls off, and then there is just a absolute bevy of retake util.
I will say we've seen some solid breach util coming out of Zelsus on the return to breach on this map. So wish this role swap was getting tested a little bit more because it's been speculated since John picked up the initiator in the offseason as to how good they would be if they had swapped back to the Sentinel role again. Maybe we'll get a better look on this attack side as
John went into so much detail about why he liked playing initiator as a caller. So, seen a switch back there, and he seems happy enough as it is. I'm sure the fans aren't complaining.
Senna going to silently take a lot of space towards elbow, where 2E's gone down there and feels the need to let that paranoia loose to get completely to safety. The rest of the team.
गलत example दे दिया पंच.
They go for an aggressive reclear.
I hate this. Sen kind of sniff it out. They get ahead of it. They might not get a sound cue to indicate this. Fury don't want to push any further than the extremities of that ace.
अभी वो लोग को sound है.
Guys have been staring at the wall for the past many seconds. Senna now as the wall going to break.
Which up here, Arango's already used that wall. Wyatt, he used it inside B main off the rip. That's not available to him right now. He doesn't have any other stall method. Now Furia caught outside the site. They're not one that really boasts the retake util that Sentinels has.
Now Recon gets close. Zekin is tucked to do a nice position here to swing off of Bang, who's a little piece of bait right now.
Bang's gonna have his hands full here. Zekin trades well and completes the 2K. 3 up here for the retake for Sentinels. They will be waiting off this surely. John on the line. Karlaseki guesses himself and is punished. And 2 years With all
हाँ
his
जाता है
experience,
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
could not stop the Furia boat from capsizing. And they might have won the first pistol, but it's going to be a
I
brutal
guess
bounce
Prowler
back
can move
from that round.
vertically. Yeah,
Just
you are
so
right.
many little
You are right,
layers
Ginger,
of
please.
moments
You are
from Sen in that
absolutely
post-plan
right.
that just illustrate why they're so good.
Plus one.
From the setup that you see with
Isn't
Bang
it
and
bye?
second your backside where Bang is pushed out a
Membership
little bit
खत्म हो गई.
further. He's going to be
Quarter में जा रहा है
bait for
पैसा.
second and then swing out, get the trades, and they're crossfired with Zelsis, John in main, and then they have the reflank from Narrate and Market. Then late in the
रोज
round,
4
combos
घंटा
are
सिम
off
देखो
with the
शिमला
stun that
1.98
Zelsis has.
आरपी दिखा रहा
There's
है.
so
पता
much
नहीं, I think
going
कुछ
on
लिखने
from
के
them.
बाद वो काउंट.
That Furia cannot deal
Chat
with
चलो
it.
stream
It's
देख
too
रहा हूँ, like कर
overwhelming.
दो.
Heat feels like, I was going to say, would be out of the round, but we'll at least get back up to full HP. No armor, though.
What a used case for the Sage Heal, though, really.
Remember me,
Much better than that.
remember me,
On the
बंदूक
side we
कैसे
go,
बच
Prowl
पाए?
over towards Market, and Narango is brought down through the smoke.
You can see this Viper wall from the defensive side is used to split the site in two so they can get back
इसने
into the
हुआ
back
चीज़ है?
site safely.
Spike planted.
Zelsis here expecting this push to come in, trying to preempt Heat, who's stuck behind the box. He gets out, but again, at a cost of a lot of health. He's taken what?
यार it's a
160 damage this round. More where that came from, apparently. Parla with a swing. Only finds his one, but they'll have to do. 2 years there. Able to catch them out. Narrate has the step up, but oh, it could have been ugly. Down to John. Bulldog to work with it. Verso not to half yet. Gotta be quick on the trigger finger. And Verso Stinger sings out.
You really saw, actually, in that round, just the value of the Viper wall that I was pointing out. Sentinels were never able to do much back sight, so Furia get all of that space for free, and then they can execute forward center, really then grouped up too heavily, so on default, overwhelmed by these Stingers, other SMGs close range.
बहुत आएगा. हाँ बे.
Furia are able to
अच्छा बचेगा.
round after
ये तो मैं सोचा ही नहीं.
long drought. They're back in the game, barely. Barely, but they've got a third round, Mitch. They got a third round.
Yeah, long climb from here, but the Outlaw was recovered.
More opportunity for Zekin to stat form.
Well,
लर्क भी किधर भी कर सकते हैं बे.
Might be a fast hit over towards the A side. Fault line would shake Adverso loose of that line, but there's 2 players lying in wait in elbow for Furia. Can they play? They can't get a crossfire for the time being. Adverso has to repost here. He doesn't really have the window to do so. Now Sen, barring a late swing from Adverso, could all face this together, and there he is. My goodness, Hero Rifle does work. Adverso, though, still able to extract his kill. That rifle's still at large, and Zekin still chomping at the bit to get involved.
Sen would love to go through elbow to recover that Outlaw as well. Furia know that, so they're stacked up 2 players.
The across, just as the head was turned. Adverso has to lock it down. Nicely done.
Nice. भाई उसने
Little
क्या
4-piece
मारा
for Adverso.
सेकंड में.
Stops that swaying here for Furia. That's 2 rounds already in the half.
बंद में
Gets
एल्डर
himself a
इसलिए
Hunter's
क्वेश्चन
Fury
को
off of
पूछा.
that as well. That was a good understanding of the situation from Furia. Making sure to get a couple players just open facing towards where that Outlaw was, expecting Sen to want to go push through elbow, recover that. And they crushed them.
बस मैं पढ़ाई करता हूँ और सिर्फ
Too
स्ट्रीम
bad.
देखता हूँ आपके और टिबन की लगता नहीं है जीव
so
बनेगी
far on defense, but something of an uphill climb.
Yeah, 22.
To say the least.
22 kills from 16 rounds here for Zekin.
वैसे भी आजकल जिंसी वाले लोग ना बोलते सारे इंडिपेंडेंट
It's like the Parla cut short, and now 2 years fans over the Royal spot, but committed to it just as well.
चुपचाप पैसा बचाओ सबको simple बात.
He is hungry for that trade onto 2Es. Too much so. The rest of the team denied any forward position by that Hunter's Fury 2Es. It's just so aggro right now. Oh, that is so messy. Oh, it's crumbled and the setup was so good. Why has it crumbled?
I mean, Adverso was Aldroning from the other side. I don't think he was actually set up to swing with them at all. So a little staggered. That timing for Fury, and their A-hold falls apart.
Now that being said, Sen have 2 very low HP players, and he and Orango have both made their way to Link rather quickly. So there could be an opportunity to take some fights against low HP players while the spike's being planted, maybe. That could be an opportunity.
Sen hoping to apply something with this noise cut, but in reality, they're just waiting for that poison orb to dissipate.
30 seconds.
They'll confirm their presence here. Fault line catches Orango, who won't be able to swing off this. It's up to Heat now. Zelsis emerges from the poison orb, drops the spike. It's John. It's John.
Bro, John Cutie ने क्या मारा?
He still brings a
key.
moving back to Sentinel.
And just on top of everything else, Sen have also been so clutch in this game. They built like 2 1v1s, I think that Furia won out, but multiple moments where someone on Sen is doing something like that. A little snap in the 1v2 to get the second player is crazy. I think Hubert is safe today.
Yes, I think he's
Won't
okay.
be strangled like Bart Simpson by Kaplan. He's safe.
As always, next week. Parler having to get away from the fault line, but maybe finding things approaching him quicker than he would have liked. A Rolling Thunder clears the way, and Sentinels are ahead of the curve. Onto the side they go. Trap set up. Should make it a little bit easier to get back into the site post-plant.
Let's get some valuable info. Narrate is ready to send out this ultimate to close this game.
Flash as well. I mean,
into blind diya, bro. What the fuck?
Dashed aside. And a stately walk in the park it feels for Sentinels here on Sunset.
को अल्ट मारा और उससे ब्लाइंड मारा भाई.
You know what? I am here for it. Good start. We'll call that an easing into the series here for Sentinels. Look to pick their strongest map straight off the bat, get out to an early lead, and inflict some psychological damage along the way.
Good day to be a Sen fan. Good day to be a Sen fan in the arena. Show up for a nice little clean victory. Second finishes with. Oh man, he couldn't even get 400 ACS. He only got 399. Come on, bro.
Run it back. Honestly, I'd call that a little bit of a wash.
Clean, nah,
Sentinels fans are here, and on the Furia side of things, it feels like the pace of the game just gets away from them.
क्या मजा आएगा ऐसा खेलने को
things out, slow it up, give them the opportunities
इतना
to play together. But Sentinels
blind,
were having none of
क्या
it. Did not want to give them that breathing room at all.
This is their whole map for a reason. Their defensive setups, those retakes towards the B side were really sublime to get them out to that lead that would be impossible.
मेरे अहमदाबाद आओगे कि नहीं कभी? Plans तो बहुत कुछ है यार. टाइम नहीं है. अहमदाबाद के पहले ना मेरे को मेरे घर पे जाने का है 2-3 दिन के लिए मॉम डैड के साथ थोड़ा टाइम स्पेंड करने का. उसके बाद सब कुछ. ज़माना हो गया भाई, साल भर के ऊपर हो गया ब्रो. It's been a long time. टाइमर दिया क्या नहीं रे? Not banning again. Not banning sunset again. Sen is like free gift. लेकिन क्योंकि ये लोग इतना ज़्यादा sunset खेले और इतना अच्छा खेले ना, ये लोग को काउंटर कर सकते हैं और एंटी स्टार्ट बना सकते हैं, लेकिन वो नहीं हो पा रहा. समझ रहे? एक गेम प्लान रहता है, ऐसा नहीं रहता है कि हो सकता है दोनों टीम का सनसेट ही स्ट्रॉन्ग मैप हो. क्या खेले तो पंजाब आए हो कभी? नहीं, मैं हिला ही नहीं हो रहे. जितना भी मेरी बॉडी लिए या फिर सब ब्रांड्स का काम के लिए या फिर राइट के काम के लिए या फिर एसिडोल का काम के लिए, मैं खुद के लिए 3-4 साल से मैं नहीं गया हूँ किधर घूमने. भगवान जाने कब गया हूँ. बर्थडे हो गया, वो सब हो गया तो ठीक है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं गया हूँ. पानी किया पिया क्या 2/50 पे? 50/50 हुआ तो पानी पीऊंगा नहीं यार. इतना महंगा हो गया है पानी. मैं मेरा बॉडी गया, मेरी गांड गई. रुको मोबाइल लेके आया यार, रेड बुल भी लेके आया. प्यास लगा पीने का.
Spike vai indo pro chão agora. Já tem essa condição na sequência. Segura muito bem o Bala.
Sentinels are already coming. They're already into this smoke. Completely unexpected. Completely at odds with G2's own hopes of holding on to anything.
Yeah, I see it like every time we lose, it's like go back to Sentinel, but people don't understand what happens in the team and the reason for some changes and why we have it this way and not the other way. Because obviously, like, our job is literally to win, and if we thought that was the way to win, we would have done it. And to be honest, even last year, we had a very good start, and obviously I was on Sentinel, but then we like dropped down, and like a lot of the issues was me like being on Senti and not being able to like control a lot of stuff on the map, and like being able to like do micro calls and stuff like that. At the end of the day, we practice every day. This is our job, and we're always monitoring the situation. And yeah, to be honest, right now I'm just more like a flex player than an initiator. I play Senti, controller, initiator, maybe some duelists here and there. We'll see. But yeah, we just keep going.
Well, the swap certainly worked out in this first map. Welcome back, everyone. Zoe here, together with Sideshow and Bren, to break it all down for you. And quite frankly, it was a quick one, so there's only so much you can really talk about here. But I think John Cutie and, of course, Celsius swapping those roles here and how it worked out for them is a good point to start with, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see the John Cutie duelist if he's teasing it. Why not? I mean,
this will be the game to bust it out as well.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, Zekken dropped 400 ACS, so he'll have a bit of a task doing better than Zekken.
Goodness.
I found it difficult, I've got to be honest with you, to judge these two players in this match in terms of the roles. It's very simple to look at it and go like, oh, well, they won 13-4, so it must have been the right play. There were a couple of times where John got a bit overwhelmed trying to anchor, but I think John's value as a Senti is more his lurks on the attack side rather than being an incredible anchor player. And I also just don't think we've seen enough of it yet for me to feel confident one way or another. But clearly the team has decided to make this swap despite their previous concerns about, you know, John's maybe calling performance suffering a little.
And like John said in that piece, I mean, if they didn't think that this was the winning move, they wouldn't do it.
That doesn't mean they're always going to be right, though.
Right, which is, I mean, that's probably why he's saying it, because they haven't been right before in the past. I mean, do you remember the deadlock comps they were playing?
Yeah,
At some point, it's you know, this team has made the wrong call sometimes overall. But you're right, Josh, I kind of agree with you. It's not the right opponent to make a good call, a good gut check on whether or not this is a good move for the future yet, because Furia's just not in a state where they can give any pushback to really any team at this point. So very hard, I think, to judge based off of that. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Yeah.
It'll be so opponent and map dependent here as well, right? So we really have to wait out a few more matches to really judge what we've been seeing thus far. Let's actually check in with Coach Kaplan, who I suspect is feeling a lot less stressed this week.
Welcome back, everyone. Sentinel just took that first map win against Furia. And Kaplan, I want to ask about these roles because a few months ago, maybe last year, you were talking a little bit about how difficult it is to call and be an IGL from that Sentinel role. And now we're seeing John Cutie on the Sentinel role and that role swap with Celsius for this map 1 and for other maps that we saw last week. So can you tell me a little bit of what changed your mind about this?
Yeah, we feel like this stage and these early games where we're confident either way are a really good opportunity to just check things out. It's our last chance to switch things up. And I think the team is building some more confidence as a pack with their ideas too, which removes some of the pain of the swap as it is today.
You guys look great. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Right, coming up next, we have Icebox, of course. This is a big question here. Will we see John Cutie on Sentinel here, or do you expect him to go back to the initiative?
Yeah, get the duelist now.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Double duelist, man. Let's do it. I think what we'll actually... So previously, in VCT, they've run double initiator. I think the meta is trending more towards trying to get Omen into your compositions, so maybe he'll go for that instead. He did say that he was now more of a flex player than a Senti or initiator or whatever, and he did mention playing smokes on a few maps. I think this is one of the few where you'll see him play like the main smoke rather than the Viper if they go in that direction. But I think there's actually, like, the world is his oyster. I genuinely would love to see him play duelist, though. I think that'd be mad.
That would be funny.
Surely there's no
Maybe
way.
you can just like manifest it. We're speaking this one into existence on the other side of
Which duelist do you want to see him play?
Honestly, don't care.
Come on, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
On the other side, though, this is of course Furia's map pick. They're taking us to Icebox here. You expect them to just hope to gun them down? Like, what's the approach to take from Furia?
I think, because I think the reason they went to Icebox is because it's a simplified map. It's one that has been played for years without any changes, which, listen, it takes a lot to spice up Icebox these days.
Icebox is rotating out at the end of this stage
and you
as
know
well.
What?
So.
I've never been happier. Listen, that's not right now, Josh. That's not the here and now.
That's true.
And I think for Furia, they are focusing on a map that everyone should know how to play it roughly in a macro sense. You know, the push and pull, you know roughly what you're supposed to be doing on certain execs. There is evolution in terms of the gameplay that has happened over time, but it's a simple map over the years, and I think that's why they've tried to go onto it, because they don't have a lot of time as a team to gel. So you do have to offset it with the firepower, because that's the one thing you have to win, is the gunfights against Sentinels. Now, did they win it in that previous map?
No.
No.
So...
Time to step up. Keep watching, though. Keep watching.
Just in case. Comeback could start here on map 2, Icebox coming up right after a short break. Don't go anywhere.
से बाल बिखर जाते हैं, फैन है ना बदीर. Can G still qualify for playoff? Yes, if they win both their matches. So they need to be the best of RRQ and the best of Gen G basically. मैं सो के फिर से आ गया. हाय दया मत करो.
I'm one for tournament arcs in my anime. That's my thing, right? And in theory, VCT should be that. However, today is the OVA episode. Sentinels go to the beach. They just do silly things. It's got nothing to do with the plot. Maybe let off some steam after what was a real grinder last week where Kaplan crashes the heck out of them midway through that Ascent game. The vibes are drastically different here, and it's up to Furia on their pick of Icebox to make him respected. We've got John QT on the Sage here.
Yeah, that was the question mark coming into this for Sen. What would John be playing? Would it be the Neon? The Reyna, slightly more probable, but still nearly impossible. Sage makes a lot of sense. She's really come back into the Icebox meta a lot more recently.
Since Toronto, where, if you remember, Sentinels were playing like a non-duelist take on this map. Okay, hold on. Waylay's back in the mix here.
That is
interesting.
Unusual. You say, I don't know about back in the mix.
Well, I mean, if you think about it.
Well, generally, yeah.
Thinking back to Ascent last stage, we saw glimpses.
We saw, some Waylay on Ascent, but on Icebox.
Icebox.
On Icebox. That is very rare. We're getting an exclusive look at a new approach to the meta.
Are those real, bro? Okay, yeah, I see some magnification there. Don't worry, I respect it. So, despite not being here,
look for 4 years straight.
I mean, that's a real commitment to the bit, in fairness. Coach Shaw, not here in person for Furia, has, as far as we understand, has the visa, just hasn't made it out here. Expect them in week 3. Still,
of course, he's cool with the Waylay. Otherwise, he's on the plane crashing up right now.
We can't get in quick enough. Imagine seething for 8 hours straight, sat in the middle seat, in coach. Nah, Furia put him in business class, let's be real, he's been through it. Of course, watching his team play from afar, surely cooking up this composition with them. It's going to be an interesting look. Ascent was the only map we really saw Waylay. I think maybe even, I want to say EG tried it on Lotus as well.
Pearl, like Osboss played it on Pearl a couple times, but all right, anyhow, we're on Icebox. Not any of those maps. So let's see what they do. And they've got Yeoman too, which is just super meta right now on the map.
Have marginally improved that pistol win rate. 2-6 now.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, yep. Hands up. Furia push up pretty deep. In jail is Parla. And is able, of course, to refract out of there.
You can get a lot of distance off of that. In the meantime, it's been this duo from Sentinels taking space towards B main. Heat jump spotting and does have a cross set up with Arango, who's playing towards site, but is actually now departed towards mid. So Heat a little bit more on his lonesome as things stand.
Must have seen a glimpse there. Heat is now backed up towards the edge of yellow. Lambot cleared. This is going to come in pretty hard and fast. Furia should be ready for this after the way that Sunset went, but will Heat be able to stand his ground? Good opener there. Narrator able to trade it out, but Arango is able to find 2.
Really well done from Furia. their positioning there. They were able to pivot, excuse me. It's a really nice double phase setup for everyone from Sen who's crossing in. It's got them in this 3 versus 2. Opportunity to start this game off hot. This is their map pick, bear in mind.
Even disadvantage, though. The Sage gives you a good plant opportunity. Light spin across there for Parla. Can he take the challenge? John is out of bullets. It's on Zelsis. Biding his time at a double. Fates might have ended to be turned into 2 versus 1 versus 1s. 2 in the chamber. That is dirty work for the boy. Absolutely putrid stuff.
Okay, it's on top of everything else, every other advantage that they have today in terms of how well they're playing. They're clutching so many unwinnable situations out. Furia really did some great work there. Specifically, it was Arango and Heat, the way that they positioned themselves over on that B site to get the 3-on-2 advantage was lovely. And it's just made ultimately irrelevant by another sick clutch from Sentinels.
Sage gives you the safe plant, even in a player down scenario. Okay, off the rip. Zelsis solo operate on that B side of the map. Marshall yields the opener.
And off that Sen, they pivot straight away from A. Time to go get that free site if they can. Furia, look at the top of the minimap though. They are aware and on the move, trying to beat them to the site, but they've only got 1 Sheriff in the hands of Heat to potentially do anything of note.
And there's layers to this, right? Viper Wall goes up, Sage Wall gives you that safe plant, and so Furia will group up here. Come at them from mid. They are trying to set the game state so that they get a close quarters engagement immediately. That Sage Wall is going to be lingering for a little while. Narrate's been isolated with that smoke. He just fades back to the edge of it. Inside it, in fact. Second will be waiting, creep it up, and good reactions. Narrate just moves them down. It's about the kind of anti-eco you want to see. Furia, take a punt on that gamble.
I need to see that on the replay.
Yeah, time
I have a curiosity as to whether or not he saw most of those players or not, or he just held down mouse. Oh, we did, okay. We'll peek out.
A bit of column A, a bit of column B.
Nice and simple, and pretty damn close to 100's Fury now early on. Sen, opportunity now for a bonus round. Furia, of course, fully invested. That has resulted in a few players not being on maximum armor, so some of these shots can hurt a little bit more.
Zelsis has maintained the Marshall now. Speaking of Marshall, the rate will be left to hold mid while John and Zekken go hunting. Alarm bot dealt with Rango's already for that.
Mid वाले ने turret थोड़ा ये लोग swing करके मार दिया. Holy fuck,
pulling
bro!
Off that kitchen position so early.
Look at the immense amount of space that Zekken has. Oh no! Oh, so he's in the walls. He's in the walls, man.
He's got the only rifle on Sentinels, and he's put it to damn good work.
I mean, Heat and B main right now would have to kill everybody, I think. I think that would have to be the game plan. That's a good start.
Yeah, down to 10, though. It's getting a little bit dicey for him, and that's a staggered swing from John.
And suddenly, well, all right, that's unlucky. And, well, it's unlucky that John got a lot of kills and orbs, I guess. And is a plant bot when you play Sage, and already it's a res, so... Basically, he got 1 kill, and all right. Well, I got excited for about a second, Mitch, that things Furia's direction on that round, but
walked into that round.
Saving.
I mean, looking back on how that surely not. Okay, gets the drop. Yes. Nothing to really springboard off of there. Even if Sen get cut down to 3 players, this was, of course, their bonus round. And they've been able to upgrade that weapon significantly. And looking back, right? That mid-take, the alarm bot getting brought down, I think, by Narrate really opens that 2-play up for Zelsis. Or Zekken, rather.
Yeah, just too many holes in the defense. The Furia were not covering. And that's free. The stats are looking better. And getting closer to the convergent paths. Maybe there will be some kind of cool play from Furia. I mean, you could send that out theoretically on defense from like yellow to B main, and it would just hit everybody.
Yeah.
So, you know, there could be some cool possibilities for like a big trap play off that ultimate. I want to see
if that's... wide-ranging area of effect for that hindrance.
Yeah, I want to see if that's an idea.
Not really sure where to look there. Maybe second-guessing the timing on Zekken pushing into kitchen like that. But Sen have always been quick to take that space.
हमेशा ये होता है वॉच पार्टी के बाद खेलता हो फिर वही होता है.
He's also gone ahead and picked up that outlaw. 5 from Furia. Apollo working his way forward. Finds the opening kill. And again, it's just that distance that he's able to cover and then retreat back all the way is so useful.
If you're Jet and you're sort of tailwinding away, you probably still get caught from belts, but Waylay can cover more distance with that refract, which means you can play that much more aggressive. It's just a tighter window.
Now you can see that Sen want to pivot towards B off the space that Zelsis has gotten in main. The turret is covering towards tube right now, so Pala will be alerted to the presence of Bang in that position.
He's not incentivized to show himself to that turret. Yellow needs to be cleared for that sort of Sage-based plant to come down. And he really doesn't want to be shifted. Rango though, what?
And the turret's down because of that. You have to be joking, man. It's brutality.
Bro,
you gotta be kidding. That was the KJ as well.
Bang now running roughshod through the back lines. The late rotator, slow one from Adverso here. Furia just get thrown in the trash compactor on B. And here's that Sage wall. Safe plant for John. Let Zelsis have it. Get closer to that lockdown.
I'm a little speechless at that one, I'm gonna be honest.
A series of unfortunate events.
Melting into the floor, watching that the subsequent actions of that round.
Yeah, you're 2D after that one, bro.
I can't believe he gets the KJ and then
you are giving
turret goes down. Come on, man.
Paper Mario after that round.
All right, but it wasn't even the buy for Furia. All good. This is going to be the real full buy.
Okay, we did have a full buy, beforehand, and that, and that didn't really work out.
This here was just, we were saving. All good. Now we're back on the full buy. Pala's only one away from the ult.
I'm actually hands off keyboard right now, guys.
It's not real until you turn your monitor off, Marshall.
Hold of Sen stacked up towards B. Gonna try to get into main.
Problem है कि तोड़ेगा ना वो भी info है.
Gets a kill, we'll have that ult.
Problem वो है. नहीं तोड़ा तो लग गए. तोड़ेगा तो वो भी info है.
What's the plan for Zekin? Okay, aggressive. Palo though lingering over towards Yellow, going to take one. And eventually just blown up.
उसने मारा बे फिर भी.
And gets topped up by John. Again, more application for that Sage heal. Safe plant and let's bang off the chain a little bit to look in Adverso's direction.
Getting a little greedy, a little overconfident with that swing past the wall, and it's perhaps given opportunity for Furia to get back into this after the lockdown expires. There will be no opportunity for it to actually be broken. They just have to wait this out.
And with the turret still active, watching the 6 for Sen. They can certainly take their time. More of that slow, that stall user coming out. Slow orb covering a huge amount of space. Irango tentatively trying to work around the edges of it. Sen no confident. 2 shock darts. Hunter's Fury set up for this post plant, and Zelsis is waiting for them to try and dig him out. Might not be much time to work with here at all. Adverso's looking worse for wear, down to 5, and Solo, he doesn't want to chance it. He'll walk away, and that's 5 in a row for Sen.
Just far too much damage done to those retakers. Adverso's definitely going to want to survive there. Sen just overwhelming on the site take. The Furia set up towards the back yellow, and B site was dismantled all too easily. It's got them in a pretty bad economic spot yet again. This is looking like just an honest icebox attack side snowball.
Yep.
A story we've seen many times in the past, but I would say exacerbated by the fact that this is Sentinels against Furia right now. They are just on a totally different level.
The one thing that's causing Sen some issues early in the round is Pala, right? Pushed up deep on the A side, like he's doing right now. Or over at yellow. Both times, getting that first kill, catching Sen out. Unfortunately, the 5v4 conversion for Furia is left a little bit to be desired, but that's neither here nor there.
Pala didn't really get an opportunity to take any fights, so did just refract on out of there. Narrate's making a lot of noise, keeping the attention of Furia players. Oh my god, Bang not able to convert that?
It was like a stay of execution for Heat, but now he's going to double down, face the music. Zaka wants to swing on him, and that is another swarm kill.
Oh, he's in the slow orb as well, just couldn't get out of it. I mean, Hell, even if he could, he was about to just walk into second back killer. He was put in the air fryer. It's wraps for him on this round. And it should just be wraps for Furia. Paula still has this rifle, but just no opportunities yet to get involved in a meaningful way with it.
And again, what do you think Convergent Path's play looks like? Does he try and go for like this early round aggression off the back of that hinder? Feels like that's pretty risky. But at this point, you probably try anything. They're going to go for it. The later stages of this round, Adversa's already picked off, though. Parla couldn't even get his. That is, well, that's tough, honestly.
That is super awkward then. Unfortunate. Sen just running away with this game. Well, we get out of this. Furia have a ton of ults, I will tell you that. They've certainly got ults to play with.
Oh, Hades, yeah. I mean, he does opt to step into the slow wall because he needs to play that corner, but...
It just looks like, I don't know,
I just abused the turret body blocking.
Yeah, with the bullets hitting the turret in that instant. Oh,
yes.
Slow wide swing nahi le raha tha.
Misery. And a timeout for Furia. Maybe cooler heads will prevail out of this timeout.
A very pensive looking Furia here. As
turret ne save kiya, turret ne save bhi kiya aur
like oversized
backup
like
bhi
the
diya.
1980s one and put the coach on there. You know, like the satellite ones.
Yeah, that is an option. I mean, just anything to
best
reach out,
use of these
any
timeouts?
kind of phone a friend.
Regardless, at least an opportunity here just to take stock of things.
Nahi
Discuss
bhai,
maybe
galat
what's
level
going wrong,
se
but
nahi
ideally build off of what is going right. Those
Discipline
early thrusts
bhi
here,
dekho
Sentinels
bhai.
maybe starting to figure that out. So a good opportunity to throw a
Aram se
variation
100
here.
mid 1v1 fight le
Hunter
sakta
has
tha,
been
nahi liya
involved in
usne
a lot
direct
of these first engagements. He's now got an operator to hand. How does he make best use of it? Because obviously accessing the map the same way Jet can is not really on the cards.
At some point here, it's time to stop trying to hard anchor B, especially when players are pushing up towards A. They have the ultimates to play this for a retake, or in a situation like this, now with the op, you can just use that to lock down this side of the map, try and stack up elsewhere. That is what they're going to do.
Paracelli's up.
Oh, yeah, he had it for a moment, but he did get rid of it. Just has the rifle now.
Back in a flash.
Just second guessing himself in that moment.
Does just put down the refract, so he's going to begin to push up and take some forward space towards main. Sen are very passive. They know that this could be coming.
Surely we don't force the issue here. I mean, how do they know this is coming? This is the question. They've read this very well. Parla surely not in a position to collapse with his convergent parts. I'd have to imagine that would be even out of Parla's wheelhouse.
Is he going to go all the way?
Goodness, okay, Zelzison gets what he came for.
अब mid लड़ेंगे सारे.
Has done a decent job finding opening kills, but Furia just need to win a round off of it. Unfortunately, this is another time where they've gotten good kills, and John just has a res though. But even still, we're getting late into the round, and there are so many ultimates for Furia to play with late. This pit to lock down towards A, a potential conversion paths from Parla towards B. They've got some options here.
Wow, Furia are so convinced this is
yeah, they
okay. They just smoke
convinced.
boilers as well.
30 seconds
So this will be a little bit of a slow rotation from the rest of Furia, but I think they cottoned on now. Convergent paths being lined up, and here we go. Parla needs to make a hero play of this one. Bang with the Hunter's Fury, whistling over his left shoulder. And Parla is not able to benefit from that ult.
It's unfortunate we could play off, but that was actually really
bro,
cool.
No way, bro.
With the stun, it caught him to
ये
second
गलत किया, भाई ये गलत किया.
Bang more than happy to get his hands dirty here. Gets away with murder. 2 years out of the picture, but Parla just finds himself
भाई
out from the smoke.
किया,
Now
भाई.
challenge over towards yellow. Parla for 3 in the round.
इसमें
But even that might not be enough.
ult miss किया उसने.
Adverso, oh, caught shooting the recon. Down to 7. And no closer to defusing our Furia. Sentinels can sit back on this and bide their time. Take some swings. High-low setup is beautiful. And Adverso, with a paltry 7 points of health, can do nothing but perish to the spike or to narrate, whichever one comes first.
Parla has had some good openers in this game, but it's just never actually enough for Furia to bring a round win to fruition. Sen are just a little bit too good. Bang is playing with the utmost confidence, taking all of that space fighting forward. Then when it actually comes down to time for Furia to need to defuse, the swings from Sen coming out are perfectly executed. Man, if there was anyone there for Furia to play off of the convergent pass, Parla also threw the stun just out of the range to the right, which is where Second was, and it connected onto him. That was so cool. But but there was no one there to play off.
I mean, Fury was so convinced that it was an A hit. They committed everything to that site.
Kitna nervousness,
So they're too late on the rotate.
And that has resulted in them being sat 4 sheriffs. Vandal, Propala. Listen, certainly looks like he has some potential as a player, but Furia as a team right now just aren't able to make the most of what he's offering.
And here's Zekken stepping up, always demanding more. Urako down first again. Sage Wall cuts Adverso off of the action. Heat has a nice little perch here. It's only good for 1. Adverso's at least able to chime in, and now the Viper's Pit. Sentinel's lost a couple of guns in the last round, so maybe just want to secure this one or guarantee it to some degree.
The other players who are unable to recover any upgrade right now. They're still just sat with the Sheriffs. Recon through, Pala swinging first.
Well, they're not involved early, but now it's about what happens late in the round. Bang has the shorty, and the follow-up is sublime. Centimeter perfect round there for Sentinels. Steadying the ship after some rocky rounds, but Furia barely put a scratch on in this game.
Something hasn't gone Sentinel's way. They're able to recover it late round with quality site executes and having post plants that have found 100% success up until this point.
Oh. I mean, 2 years is smack dab in the middle of that snake bite.
Definitely some frustration on the face of Heat that is very much warranted. Now, an attack operator for Zelsis. We did see him using the outlaw prior, and it really just feels like we're living in an attack-opping world right now in 2025.
Yeah.
People are loving it.
Saw a lot of it on Corrode from Sen as well. It was the Vice.
Yeah, just from Zelsis in specific, actually. He was doing it on Lotus sometimes, too. Really starting to pick it up more. Just another little hole in the Sen's game. Bang. Beautiful opener.
It's beyond brutal. Tara from Morongo either cleared or nowhere to be seen there. He's out of the round. A lockdown. Try and give Fury a foothold in these sites post-plant. Zelsis is happy just to play with his food here at the B side, but now the rest of Sen have considered this as a genuine finishing option.
Zelsis going to get the lockdown now.
Stay on location.
That orb, and it's going to send Heat running unless he just tries to timing it and fight forward. Wanted to for but a moment,
he is
but will now just get on out.
There is nobody from the playoff here. He's actually going to fall off the side entirely. Lockdown gets the space that Sen wanted, but Zekken is dealt with in a long-range duel. He doesn't take a scratch.
A little over-eager, perhaps, to take that fight. No utility to really set that position. Just breaking the wall off. There's a pretty nice angle over to Zelsis. That's now obscured as that one-way cloud gets reactivated towards main.
Zelsis can refresh this turret and play off of it. And John just waiting, tucked into the corner. Now one of the options for Fury, they're running a little bit thinner. Now Bang is knocking on the door, making a play in from mid. He has to commit to this, he's got to take the fight, and John is dealt with. But there's layers to this, folks, and far more Sentinel personnel waiting for a chance to get involved. Oh, buddy, that is brutal.
And then Zelsis just rewraps back.
350 के लिए advance congratulations. Thank you मेरी जान के today.
Especially off the wall.
मेरा
you have John tucked into a newly formed position from the wall, and then you have Zelsis able to just hold the cross through the broken panel, rotates going towards back yellow. These post plants are really excellent.
Pala trying to use that light speed to get forward. But he just has no information. He knows he's pushing into a likely crossfire. Not a word on the lips of Adverso there.
Crowd view against.
For obviously, this team who have with players in supportive positions on this team have got a lot of experience, right? Adverso, 2 years. I didn't put Heat amongst them. Pala with that ill-fated, stint last year with MIBR wasn't really able to give the greatest account of himself.
But he had some moments, had some moments of feel like kind of what we're seeing now, honestly. Flashes of, but this guy can definitely shoot. He's got some potential. But neither time he's been on the Americas stage, he's had the team around him to make the most of what he's offering.
I mean,
and like, you're looking at this team and hey, perhaps, like
main crossfire or utilization
because of the experience you're mentioning, but they haven't had time. They're taking timeouts where they still have to talk to each other. There's no one else getting in the mix to give them any other ideas. No, I don't believe so.
So what is he gonna
I don't
ask
think Kaplan is paycheck stealing.
Is he just going to ask them what their favorite member of Blackpink is and then just get back to the game? Like, what is there to talk about? This is clean. Very clean. Lockdown here for Urango. 2 kills for those bottom 3 players of Furia. When the rubber hits the road, they have not been able to deliver.
3 mid push करके turret तोड़ने वाले.
Play down 2, but it feels like Bang is ready. Well, especially now that the turret has got this contact and he just mows him down. Yeah, it's one of those days to the office. Bang aiming for that quarterly bonus. Furia just walking straight up into the sightlines of Sentinels.
Unfortunately, that is Furia's buy round yet again, just up in smoke. Sen going to get an easy A.
Timing गलत है पता है recon वाला.
Bang looking snappy, everything looking
easy,
so effortless.
Yes, that was very straightforward.
Very straightforward from Zekin. No chance he was going to lose that duel.
No. But there have been a number of these rounds, especially after timeouts, where Furia have still been proactive early, but tried a different part of the map, right? We saw Pala trying to move up and B. He's been controlled by Zelsis there, right? That op on the attack side, really just dealing with any of those contact peaks on the extremities. It's a very expensive weapon drop there, Jordan.
Punished for hunting with the op, as will happen.
Easy come, easy go with those weapons, I suppose.
I mean, there really, realistically should have been a trade on Bang at the top of the round, but... Okay, just able to snap onto multiple people with that Phantom with such ease.
All right, a flawless game so far from Sentinels. 10 rounds they were able to pick up, of course, in the first half of Sunset, and then they springboarded off that pretty confidently.
Clean by.
They get set up playing back a little early in these rounds, and they're always ready for these extremity pushes coming from whichever way.
They've really been able to
deny
that aggression, you know, outside of a couple of moments where Paula took that opening fight, finds a kill, able to teleport out of there. Yeah,
they're pushing down tube again, and the turret is watching for it again. This time it's cleared, and Bang isn't able to play off it because the variation here is a defense-sided smoke on that corner.
Oh, Zekin so far forward, Heat. Real danger right now, trying to retreat, and is able to.
Okay, this is drawing over to the B side of the map. Sen are very passive on A. Again, expecting a lurk. Oh man, they're really pushing past the line of scrimmage there, Wyatt.
They are going all the way into B main right now for Furia. They set the paranoia and then the swing. They've realized that Sen no longer there. In fact, they are going to A, and Furia are just trying to gun it there. Teleport from 2Es. Going to be
problem is
okay, lockdown here for the defenders. So
plant करके पट से निकल सकते हैं.
Room maybe a chance to even get into the site and
anchor
it properly.
Push कर सकता है.
Huh. A little audacious, but I'll take it. Oh, Narrate times it to the second.
All right, well done. Has the Hunter's Fury. Furia are now
30 seconds left.
Back sight. But Sen will have the Hunter's Fury to try and cause some disarray in their positioning that they can exploit when the execute comes in.
There is a slow wrap coming down from Heat, but it will be spotted out by the Killjoy turret. There it is, straight into the fight. Bang and Zelsis chime in. Zekin fell, 10 seconds left in the round. Needs to be a plant here, but it's going to be interrupted. Oh, Bang, that is clean. Up to Adverso now from Rafters. Had to send and deliver, no other option. A staggering 11-0 on this first half of Icebox.
That orb got max value. The Hunter's Fury coming through. Zekin scaling off the back of that into the deep part of the site. Bang with them as well. Zelsis was aware of Heat coming on the flank. Had gotten a kill in the meantime while all of that action was happening towards Rafters.
Very comfortable for Sentinels. Again, seeing these pushes up, they double back on that B push, realizing they've got to cancel it, they've got to deal with the lockdown at A. The raid is taking an orb inside the lockdown.
ये मेरे को नहीं लगता चेक होगा.
All the way. And in the meantime, Paula has the convergent path.
Zekin क्यों देख रहा है?
Zekin is not convinced.
Just jump spotting this now. Does have a couple players with him if Sen were coming B main to play off it, but it's just all about Heat right now. Is he going to get cleared? Will he actually have an opportunity to try and get an opener here?
How much will Sentinels insist that someone is in fact in Crow's Nest? Okay, he does get the drop on them though. Getting out though, that could be the issue. Needs exfil immediately. That was Adverso though chiming in, able to bank a play out from Boiler.
उसको मालूम था Zekin को.
distraction.
Zekken, mere gotesh.
Don't rotate it over. Here comes another well-timed res. All these reses have gotten so much value as well. Hunter's Fury going to be committed due to it, but it doesn't even connect. Okay, bang caught. Dangerous though.
And Virgin Parts now active. Looks like nobody from Sentinels was subject to the hindrance of that, and Zekken will walk away.
Narrate has been on the move towards B for a while now. Tweez is already here, back yellow.
Yellow clear nahi, yellow clear nahi, yellow clear nahi.
Tweez is ready for this. Oh no, Tweez!
Ye
crucial
kill tha. Ye crucial kill tha.
Oh, that hurts now. Sage Wall and Safe Plant. Naru's going to get it done. And he might even want to play off of this. This might be an unexpected position. And yep, has a timing but can't quite convert. Up to Zekken, brought back to life. John, the bringer of life. Zekken. The harbinger of death, it appears.
5-0 crucial kill tha yaar.
Verso. Got a backup play for it. It's just
Oh
not
my
meant to be.
god.
Thick as a bloody battleship for Sentinels. That is a bona fide USDA Prime 12-0 half for Sen City.
I don't think I have any words for that. Sen.
Well, it's your job, so give me some.
ये round पूरा का था.
Damn, man, they
दो
look,
ulti waste कर दिया लेकिन फिर भी पूरा का था.
Casually topping the board, just kind of sitting around with the off, picking people off on the flanks. Sends post plants over towards that B side. Oh, they were very impressive. All of their positional rotations, how they were setting up crossfires off of each other. That was what was really impressing me throughout that half. That was some great stuff from them.
Clear to see that Fury are getting uncomfortable midway through the rounds, always looking for more info and getting punished for it. Can they do something in this game? 12-0 at the half. We'll see you in a second where Pistol means everything.
सब बराबर था, लेकिन वो ओमेन को उधर मारना था. और उसके बाद भी ऐसा नहीं कि ये लोग ग्राउंड जीत गए. ओमेन अगर मार के ट्रेड होता तो थोड़ा टाइम पे होता. सेन फिर भी जीत सकता था क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली इट्स सेन. बट विनिंग परसेंटेज बहुत बढ़ जाता था उनका. Good morning, boys. Good morning. क्या हो रहा है चैट पे? क्रेजी किला. ये देखो लिखा है लीफ इज आउट फॉर मेडिकल इश्यूज. बेबी बे विल बी प्लेइंग ऑन हिज प्लेस. Point of patch. Too many mistakes for Furia? नहीं. Not too many mistakes. Though main mistake is util जो वेले सोवा util लोग कर रहे वो बहुत लेफ्ट राइट हो रहा है. और एक ये जो ओमेन को मारना था. और एक मिड रिकॉन वाला जब डबल पिक लिया और रिकॉन 1 सेकेंड और लेता. 2-4 चीज ही है यार. बाकी तो वो लोग जो मार रहे हो काउंटर मारना पड़ेगा. वो बात अलग है.
The only team to ever get 13-0'd in VCT Americas was EG.
और बस चड्डी ओपन.
That was 2023. They went to win champions that year. I'm just saying.
You're just saying. Right.
They've got a whole stage
so
to get together.
Are you trying to tell me that Furia are going to be winning champs?
The facts. I'm presenting the facts.
It sounds to me like you're trying to tell me they're going to win champs. By the way, we'll see what happens. Loud are the only team in VCT Americas who've won a map 13 now.
I will give you the close and you make the cat cafe for me. Okay, that's your job. So this will be historic for a number of reasons. Let's see if it plays out that way.
The second 13-0 in history. Maybe. I feel like we've been here before where it's almost happened and then it doesn't, but all right. Let me get my bearings. Furia, they're headed towards the A site. All 5 players. Wall goes down from Jean to deny that left side of 410.
Here comes the inch forward from Furia. Parler obviously with a get out of jail free card. It's unlikely. Sentinels like the rest of Furia get away from this. They are committed in here. Celsius already shows himself and deals with Parler.
Celsius, but more work still to be done.
Even numbers. Sight though belongs to Furia.
Oh, more damage.
So he's the one planting. Oh, what?
For health.
I'm sorry, what?
For health.
What?
It did interrupt the plant though. This gives time now. Bang already starting to knock on the door. Urango doesn't want a bar of it.
These Furia players are dangerously low, and Neri deals with the Rango.
Low he is. Zekin's going to be able to wend his way into the site now. And Verso's up in nest. I don't think Zekin heard that. Oh god, he just deals with heat. And Verso for 3 on the round. He's looking for more. It's not to be.
13-0 chat.
Historic victory. For all the wrong reasons, perhaps. But that's Sentinels bouncing back from a tumultuous week 1 with an ease in to the rest of stage 2.
And if what you said is true, there's still good news for Furia to await us.
Chance, baby.
There's good news in the future. Yeah, Sen a little bit too good today. Great time to show up to the Riot Games Arena if you're a Sentinels fan. Enjoy a nice little victory for them. 2-0 now in the stage.
भाई नहीं यार मेरा माँ कसम बुरा लग रहा है
So
लोग
here's
के
the
लिए
thing.
यार.
Coming out of last week, you know, Capcom frustrated, felt like Sentinels really came alive towards the end of that series. Here, they come in, they get to play their way. They really just get to maybe put a couple of things they've been working on to the test, but you could see Sentinels were serious about getting up to a strong start in this series. They pick Sunset, they go straight for it, they say, we're just going to dominate this game.
गलत discipline खेला लेकिन.
Absolutely.
कुछ overpick नहीं.
For a reason. And every time they play it, I feel like I say it's their home map for a reason, and then they show
गलत discipline खेला
the reason is they're really good. Well, yeah, except for that.
ज़्यादा ही बे इतना कैसे पता नहीं बे.
Send on that map. Too strong. Then we go over to Icebox, where they've switched things up now from the last time we saw them in VCT. Zekin playing Omen, running a duelistless comp. Now back over to the Jet, the classic duelist pick for the map.
भाई जब सोवा ने मिड में 1v1 फाइट नहीं लिया था तब भी मेरा दिमाग घूम गया.
Perfectly for them.
4v3 situation
है.
मिड वाला शेरिफ वाला मर रहा है. 1v1 फाइट है. वैंडल शेरिफ. वो मार सकता हूँ फिर भी नहीं मारा बे. नहीं देना 3v3 करके.
Well, you mentioned it, right? That clutch factor was there in spades. Not even to say that Sentinels needed it to rely on it all the time, but tell you what, when it was time to go, they absolutely went for it. And a good confidence builder, I think, for this team. No matter how much they really used to take away from the game, when they sit back, look over it, they probably say, okay, our approach is good. Confidence rather looks like it was there.
क्योंकि वो फाइट आ रहा तो भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. इनको एक मिनट में बंदा है. 3v3 है खेलो.
Teams here in stage 2.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the takeaway from this game is certainly that John, he's playing a lot more Sentinel. He straight up switched with Celsius on map 1 to be on the.
Crazy भाई. गलत टीम के लिए खेला भाई. गलत. यही होता है भाई जब ऐसा मेंटालिटी रहता है ना कि क्या करने से टीम को एडवांटेज मिलेगा और क्या करने से टीम को डिसएडवांटेज मिल सकता है अगर हगा. ये अगर मेंटालिटी रहेगा ना सबका. ओ फक.
First 13-0 of this year, and also the second one that we've gotten in VCT America's history ever. When you're having such a dominant map, GEELI comes get silly. What was going through that map of Icebox for you guys?
बस चलो. Bye-bye. Good night chat. Good night. Adios. चढ़ी में adios. Take care. See ya. Love you. Good night. मिलते हैं कल दोपहर को पैसिफिक के लिए. Hopefully मैं 9 बजे तक सो पाऊँ. Bye-bye chat. मिलते हैं. Good night.